how to make $1 million wholesaling real estate, and more specifically, the quickest way to make over $1 million wholesaling real estate. There are actually 4 proven paths to really do $100,000 all by yourself. But what we're going to show you today is how you can use all these paths together to go out here and make as much money possible in wholesaling. Now, here's the truth. You can clear $1 million in assignment fees, no problem wholesaling all by yourself. Now, you will kill yourself doing this. It will not be fun, but you can do it. But there's a lot easier ways to do it that we're going to share today. And what we're here to set out to do is show you how to make $1 million the quickest, maybe not the easiest way, but the quickest way possible for success in wholesaling real estate. So let's kind of get into it and let's kind of talk about how to do this the right way, guys. Again, if you got any questions, let us know and we're ready to go. But there are 4 proven ways to make $1 million in wholesaling real estate. And so let's share exactly what these 4 ways are and how you could start using them for wholesaling real estate success. So let's pop up the chart here and show you how to do it. Now, making $1 million is, I get a lot of people that complain to me about, it's so easy. And a lot of people tell you when you're trying to scale, you have to go spend all this money and do these insane things. And I don't really prescribe to that part. I kind of prescribe to the part of what you can do here. So let's do this. There we go. Okay, cool. So here are the 4 ways to scale with only about $1 million in wholesaling. So this is roughly what we have found and kind of a little chart we made here of the 4 ways to scale to $1 million through wholesaling real estate. Now, the first way that most people can do it, and the way that I started, the way that you started, right, was just do more of what's working. And that is the first way that most people go out here and scale and make a lot of money. It's just like, okay, this is working. And here's my advice. Ready? Just do more of it. Right?
Yep.
It's that simple. And so many people like to overcomplicate it. They're like, oh, what's going on here? And it's so easy. It's so simple, guys. And if you can learn exactly how to start doing this, you're going to have a lot of success here, because doing more of what's working is just generally what wholesaling real estate is all about. So number 1, doing more of what's working. And number 2, adding and failing with marketing. This is a lot of testing, a lot of time, but anyone can really do this, right?
Yeah.
And you're the master of it.
Yeah. And guys, remember, most of you are fighting just to get your first deal, because you don't get your first deal, you don't have to worry about your 100th deal. And to truly know you fit in wholesaling, if you become wildly resourceful and like you understand you have to solve problems and quickly, you get to deal 5. When you get to deal 5, you can really start to scale. So many people have this perception, oh, high scale, I go to Facebook, I go pay per lead, stuff like that. No, first you got to start with 1, start some of the traditional ways, but we'll talk about them. But like as a new wholesaler, you shouldn't be looking at like pay per leads when you start, because I got to find out if you got the grit and the determination to do this. So we're going to teach you different techniques to do that, but please don't think we're going to tell you to do Facebook leads. I don't even promote that. It does work in some markets, but the return, I just don't think's there. We've talked about PPL. So let's figure out how to do this, because it's you that creates the leads. Once you master marketing, then you can outsource some stuff, but you got to understand it. So many vendors or guys coming at you go, I can fill your inbox with leads. It's just a marketing. Like it sounds perfect on paper, but it's very hard to do. You have to be the master of marketing, and that's what we're talking about today.
And so to scale it, again, it's adding and failing. So I know you say don't do PPL. What I tell you, go try it if you want, right? And go spend $5,000 and tell me if you get anything back. Spend $50,000 and see what you get back, right? The point of it is just to test. Now, a lot of testing can be very, very expensive. So you have to understand that. And then number 3 here is really organizing. We'll talk about today how to organize your entire operations. So a lot of this is just kind of cutting the fat and being way more efficient with your time, because time is going to be the thing that's really going to constrain you with scaling on an operation, right? And the coolest part about organization is you can do about 80 hours of work in 40 hours. And if you can dial in your numbers, your KPIs, knowing what's working, what's not, figure out markets too. This is a part of organization that really help you scale out, is if you can figure out really, really dang quick. It's like, okay, well, if 80% of my deals are in only 3 zip codes, why don't we just start doing more testing, but in only the zip codes that are hot that my buyers actually want to buy in. Boom, right? And then from there, there's a lot more strategies too. What I'll tell you to do too is just training and hiring. Now, the thing is, most people automatically assume, and this thing that drives me crazy, is that hiring is the first and only way to scale. And that's not. To make $1 million, you do not need to hire 17,000 people, get a big office, stuff like that. I mean, if we're talking about 3, 4, 5 mil, we can get into that conversation. But really, training and hiring, I've always said, is probably should be the last thing, because you should have all your ducks in a row before you really start getting people in there. Because I'm not a big fan of hiring people, then firing them within a month. I think that ruins people's families, lives, stuff like that, especially the employees. And then you're all traumatized on hiring people. And I could have just put hiring, but I made sure to specifically put training in front of that, because that's the part. No, everyone wants to hire. They don't want to train. They hire, say, do this. It's not how you do a VA. That's not how you do an acquisitions manager. That's not how you do a dispo person. It's the wrong way to be here and doing it, right?
I mean, you got to walk a mile in someone's shoes before you decide to fulfill them for other.
Oh, yeah.
One of the biggest mistakes we see is new wholesalers. They outsource their cold calling. They get a transaction coordinator. Guys, you don't need a transaction coordinator if you haven't done a deal. Like, trust me, you want to be involved as humanly possible. And so but you'll learn it over time. And then as you get volume and go, man, I don't even have time to follow up. That's when you consider a transaction coordinator. But like, I've seen multiple people reach out to me. I paid someone $500 to do transaction coordinating, and then I owe them $1,000 on the back end. I'm like, they're out there, guys. Like, people will take your money. So remember, when you come into wholesaling, is I teach you to be resourceful, because if you came from like a university or your school or even a corporate job like I did, which I did all three, I'm used to having an HR department, a guidance counselor when I have a problem, a finance department, a marketing department, a legal department, a customer service department. You're it. And you got to figure out each one of them. Now, here's a good thing. You're not working on 100 deals when you first start out, maybe 100 leads, but you got to find the 2 or 3 in there that will play ball with you, that you solve a problem, people who need to sell. And once you do that, you figure it out and you learn this journey called wholesaling, and everybody has to go through it. And if you think you can outsource anything without doing the wholesale experience, you're in for a rude awakening. So I get it. I would love to take the Tim Ferriss to 4-hour work week, where I just, hey, I don't know anything about wholesaling, but I'm going to pay you guys some money and get it done. It is the fastest recipe to disaster in this business. I see lots of people teaching it. Remember, you've got to go out and get your first deal and get to deal 5. Once you do deal 5, I know you have the fortitude, the resourcefulness to survive in wholesaling. Then once you have a understanding of how each department kind of works, then you can go, okay, which is the lowest task that I don't have to do every day? And then, maybe it is somebody you have a transaction coordinator. If you do it virtually, there's more of a need to it. But if you're doing it locally, if you have a great relationship with your title company, that is your transaction coordinator. It's already built in. You don't have to pay extra for it. Guys, everybody will sell you a solution. You are the solution to wholesaling. Anybody can do $1 million in wholesaling if they have the stomach for it. Did I say it's easy? No, it's not the easiest thing in the world. But the idea is make some money, learn the content of wholesaling while you do it. We are not in grade school where you go 12 years, then we throw you out in the job market, and then you figure it out at like minimum wage. So you're going to have to take a step back and understand. Please don't think you can outsource everything and know nothing about the business, because I've yet to meet anybody who survived wholesaling doing that from the get-go.
Yeah, happens a lot. So you got to know exactly how to master your own domain before you can go scale it out the right way. Because when you scale someone out, like they're like mini yous, like mini me's. And if you're not good, you scale out something that sucks. I mean, 0 times 0 times 10 is 10, it would be 3 times 10 is 30 versus 1 times 10, right? And so that's the way you got to do it the right way. So again, let's kind of talk about the first part, right? Doing more of what is working. Guys, by far, this is the quickest path to start really making a ton of money. And it is the simplest one, right? We're talking to Brady yesterday on the XC's Mastermind. And he was funny because just like, I just did 5 deals this month, man. I think it's like 23, 24. And he's just like, what should I do? And I said, what should I do next? And then I'm like, well, how do you get in the deals? And he's explaining how he's getting the deals. I don't want to He's in a very niched market, so I don't want to get and basically what I told him was, "Are you ready? Why don't you just do more of that?" He said, "That's a good idea." And he's going to go from 5 to 10 deals a month just doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, we're not adding extra more channels. We're not adding extra whatever. So in his case, he already extended. He can't do any more cold calls because he's maxed out his lists. So what's the next part of doing what's working? We're going to text a list that works really well, right?
That's the next progression.
Simple. And that's how he's going to go from 5 to 10 deals. And do I need to go any more? Do I got to get cute or fancy with him on this? No. And do I tell him to add more employees and admin? No. Okay. Homeboy here has the XLead CRM. He has the texting set up and a single line dialer. Now, also what I'm telling him to do is he's going to go from a single to a triple line dialer. This guy is going to probably double his business overnight because he's going to go from a single to a triple line dialer. And then he's going to start texting more leads. Now he has a buddy too. And this is where we're getting nuts. He's got a buddy with him. Shout out to Jack. His buddy's name was named Jack. And I told his buddy, not him because his time's already sent out, but he has a buddy he like JVs with in the same market. His buddy Jack is going to take his list that he's using. He's going to email blast 30,000 people a month using XLeads. He gets 60,000 exports. He's going to email blast that. And then they're going to market on those too.
Wow.
Like this is like I'm not going to say a surefire way, but pretty much the easiest way for him to go scale out. Now I could have told him, well, let's go organize the leads more and let's get high VAs. No, like all he has to do is that. And he said, what do I do after that? I said, let's get to 10 deals a month first. That's a beast on its own.
Yep.
That is a beast on its own. And then we could talk about organizing the right way, getting employees, VA for the marketing, stuff like that. But he basically told me, and this is the truth. He's just like, I make my most money get on the phones. I hate the marketing part. I'm like, that's where I'm going to text. But the thing is, you just want to get more people on the phone that want to sell and less of the actual marketing side, right? And so that by far, it's a true example. I don't know if Brady's actually in here, but cool dude. But the craziest part about it is the quickest and easiest path to doing more of what's working, right? I get asked all the time, Zach, should I get a transaction coordinator? The truth here for a transaction coordinator, and this is like rough numbers, but for every 10 deals you have under contract, you could probably add a transaction coordinator. Once you start getting to 20, 30, 40 on one transaction, that gets a mess, right?
Yeah,
but for every 10, you can get one. So if you're telling Zach, should I get a transaction coordinator? Do you constantly have 10 deals under contract all the time? Yes or no? No.
Yeah. I don't know. There's value in a transaction coordinator, but I mean, any guys, especially those of you do a local, your title company is your transaction coordinator. I don't like people feel like need to add another layer. If you have a ton of contracts, I get it.
Yeah.
That's what we do with it. But like for 7 years, I never, ever had a transaction coordinator. Now, virtual has changed the game on it now.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of problem with the transaction coordinator, it's like, it's become a funnel. It's like, okay, I'm going to give you this level of service. You got to pay $2,500 up front. I just think all transaction should be deal to deal. Like if you do 1 or 2 deals and it doesn't work out, like if we do a JV deal and it works out, we want to do more with you.
Well, we're getting a question. What's a transaction coordinator?
A transaction coordinator.
What's your definition of it? I got mine.
It's the person that goes in between you and your company and the title company to get clearance to close the deal.
Yeah,
that's it. But here's the problem is, guys, I've read the fine print on these transaction coordinators. I think if I could give everybody one, I would do it. But they're now saying we don't negotiate. We don't talk to the seller. We definitely won't talk to the buyer. I don't know about you, but my title company does all that stuff for me. Now, when we do it nationally, it's a different story. We do have to get help. So that's my definition. If you're doing it locally, it makes, honestly, I know the owner of the title company and like, I just make sure I'm a top priority. So like one of the things we tell them, hey, as soon as I hand you the contract, you got to reach out to that seller that day. There is no, if you let 24 hours go, you're risking the entire deal. So what's your definition of one?
So it depends. So I like an in-house one that you just kind of hire and train yourself.
Yeah.
I prefer always, now this is training and hiring, right? But like, I always want someone who is used to what I'm doing. I don't like hiring a transaction coordinator company. There's nothing wrong with it. There's some good TC companies, TC transaction coordinator companies that are like They kind of do it all together. That's fine. I kind of want mine to go a little more above and beyond. Now, I usually pay them better, but they're usually very specific of what I do, right? And the worst thing possible, and this is just me because I've seen this happen on so many companies, not calling any company out, right? Most companies are fine, but there's usually one or two bad apples where now they have all your contracts you have, and they love playing little games.
Well, they
Right?
get a lot of valuable data.
Deals suddenly go array, specific markets, and even if not, I've seen some take your address that you wholesaled. Now they got the buyer, and they'll give buyers out to buddies under the table. You know how these deals work.
Let's
right?
research this further. I'm not knocking
not everyone, but there's certain ones. And
they fulfill it. They fulfill a need in the market, and I get it. But who owns most of these companies? Investors. Yeah. So I'm just so like I can't tell you how many times someone's either called or gone by any of one of the title companies I work with, and they want to get information. Give me Rick's volume, give me his average contract price, all this stuff. Never. I just say, listen, one word ever gets out because that's our data. We spend a ton of money for it.
Our closing attorneys, they get hit up all the time.
So unless you have a subpoena, but like you got to have that person on lockdown. But like, don't be paranoid about it. If you're doing it nationally, you need to get some help. If you can use an in-house person.
Yeah.
The other thing is if you got one person dealing with 100 investors across the country, I don't know how much time you're going to get from them because they're companies. They want as much business. I don't blame them, but like, do you really have a dedicated person to it? Or are you like just another number? I believe in the beginning, they did a great job, but I'm starting to see severe limitations. We don't contact seller. We don't contact buyer. We don't negotiate.
There's some good ones out there.
Yeah. So listen, if you can find somebody on your team, well, Rick, how do you do a transaction quarter? You just need someone honestly to babysit your deal.
Yeah.
Touch base with the title company once or twice a week, because that's what it takes. Most of us are trying to get it done in a couple weeks. And did the title pull? Did we get this back from the attorney? And honestly, you could have what we call just a runner back. Like your job's just to follow up and get it closed. You get them a percentage of deal. You give them a flat fee. But like once it gets big enough, either you bring in an in-house employee or you can find a company that help you solve that problem. But keep in mind, make sure you know who you're doing business with because you're trusting them with your most valuable asset, which is your contract. So
I agree. So again, the quickest path is doing more of just what is working. Now, for example, if cold call and probates are helping you, do more of that at scale, right? Duh. Simple, right? I mean, I get asked all the time, Zach, well, what if I don't know what's working? Well, a couple of things we can show you here, right? So another chart we have in freewholesaling.com that I think is actually pretty cool. So I'm Mr. Infographics today.
Oh, wow.
But, this is an old chart that you made. And I think it was really useful for today. But it's basically, what's the chance of the seller actually being a good deal, roughly considering their motivation, right? And you remember doing this, right? But like, basically it comes out to the more motivation, the higher chance out of 100 calls, 1,000 calls, it's going to be a deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of explain this real quick.
I'm just refreshing. So it's just a graphical representation, and it just kind of gives you the different type of seller. So remember, if it's just price, which is typically PPL, that's why you have to go through so many leads to make it work. And remember, we're based on a relationship. Mm-hmm. How can I have a relationship if you just want to do price?
Well, here's the problem with price.
Yeah.
Is price is negotiable, right?
Yeah.
And how most of these negotiations on sellers who want just price, a lot of this, you're going to find this a lot on like Facebook ads or internet leads, right? SEO, whatever it is, right? Sometimes PPL, right? But like you get a lot of people who are like, okay, well, I'm going to give an offer to the seller. You're like, would you take 100? And they say, I'll think about it. And then you go, okay. And then
you got nowhere to go.
I'm like a clown.
I will tell you this. If the people that tell you, maybe I'll think about it, that is worse than a no, in my opinion, because you're in the friend zone. And it's like, what can I do with it? So when me and Zach teach you at freewholesaling.com how to do the framing and stuff, there's a reason for it. You call it cheesy, whatever you want, but I can hold people to the word and progress it. And I can snuff out the people that really have no intentions of selling them a property. They're just using you. Most PPLs, from what I've seen, they use each
PPL. It's SEO, but Facebook.
When someone's just focused on price, they're going to take your offer. Okay, Rick gave me an offer. Zach gave me an offer. Johnny gave me an offer. Susie gave me an offer. And then they look at it, go, okay, who offered us the most? They don't go, who do we trust the most? Who's the best for it? Because You're just a transaction. So moving along this chart here is the avoid the realtor fees. That's the next one. And sometimes the
Double
people,
motivation, by the way.
yeah,
Double
and
motivation.
sometimes, so this is why we don't want you to be a licensed realtor, because they're trying to avoid it. Now I have a shot with them. I just got to get behind the story on it.
Let's talk about this for a second, right? So how much it is to sell a piece of real estate?
On average, it's going to be 10 to 12% when it's said and done.
So if somebody wants 88% of what the house is actually worth, that is avoid realtors fees, right?
Yeah.
Once somebody's, what I personally found, once somebody's willing to take 20, 21, 22% below what the property's actually worth, then you know they're actually willing to go below avoid realtors fees. And that's when you start getting into wholesale territory, right?
Yeah. So this chart is progressive. So each problem that adds up, it's more apparent when they need to sell. So, the next one is when it needs repairs. That indicates they might actually have a financial problem, and you just got to get to the story behind the repairs. Nobody wants a hole in the roof. Nobody wants a leaky roof. Nobody signs up for them. Just life happens. And we've all been in this situation at one time or another. And if you understand it, as we progress through this chart, I'm simplifying this, because then once they get behind on repairs, then the house they get behind on their mortgage payments, which if they don't do something is going to happen. Period. The house is going to be auctioned off and they're not going to be in control. And this is where it breaks, right? When you get the foreclosure, bad tenants, because there is extreme uncertainty. And the one thing people do not want with their housing needs and their family is uncertainty. Now, when we add probate to this, guys, these are the number one deals I do. Why? Because they have the most profit, and usually the probate almost adds everything else below this line. I talked to 3 deals today with probate. They're a pain in the ass. Don't get me wrong. I hire people to help me get through all the legal and stuff. But guys, I walk away with 6 figures on most of these deals because every wholesaler goes, I don't know, I can't find a profit. No, not on each one of them, but it's significantly higher. Mm-hmm. And I'm just really, like, to me, you tell me you got a probate, you want a JV, if it makes sense. But like, I do my homework on all these deals. I find out when it's under contract. And here's what most investors do. They put it under contract on a probate. Mm-hmm. And then 3 months later, like, I can't figure this out. I like, what do? I go, okay, well, you're making $0. Why don't you just pair up with me? I'll tell you right off the bat if it should move forward or not. And a lot of these owners will bounce around investor to investor and try to find someone that will actually help them out. You got to communicate. You typically got to hire a lawyer and help them out. And it is a tremendous risk. That's why we have our JV opportunity at sellmypaper.com. Guys, my favorite, probate. So you look on this chart, probate's at the top. When I talk to a probate lead, I have a significantly higher closing percentage because I'm usually about the only person that can solve it. Are there other people outside of Rick and Zach? Yes, but a wholesaler is what I'm talking about. Because working with a lawyer, getting the house cleaned up, figuring out what the repairs on it, and making sure the house is safe and secure, and avoiding a foreclosure, making sure the house doesn't fall down because it's in disrepair, and then avoiding the realtor, and then talking about price. At the end, the probate, people are uncertain and they're scared, and it's an emotional thing. And that's what we solve. The more problems you have with the property or the seller, the more of a chance you have a wholesaler. The difference between me is I want the relationship. I want an off-market property, direct to seller that needs to sell. Does probate hit every one of those? Absolutely. The minute you list a probate with a realtor, the odds go down tremendously. It's not the realtor's fault. I would take the listing too if I was a realtor, but they're going to get frustrated. They're going to go through buyer after buyer because they don't understand. Sometimes these things take 6 months. We got one going on 18 months now. And if we understand that, guys, the gold in finding a great wholesale deal is most of you are looking in the wrong place. Well, so-and-so told me to go here and there. Yeah. Question. Did you get sold something? Are you super busy? Do you have any results? I already know most of you are looking in the wrong places for the deals. Find the seller's motivation, either the property motivation or the seller's motivation. If you get them both, OD and off-market direct to seller that needs to sell.
There we go. Probate's where the money's at. So, are you gonna go?
Yeah, I got to cut out. I got to go work on a project here. So you're in good hands. Okay, man.
Sick. All right. So we're talking about the second part here. Wait. If I push this here. Now that's when I start going crazy. All right. So if we're talking about this right here, right? So if number 2, right? So this is the part where I think some people get a little, they get a little freaked out over, but it's adding and failing with your marketing. Now, the thing about adding and failing with your marketing here is you just have to test a stupid amount of things out here. And what I mean by this is, there we go. What I mean by this is you're never going to know what's working or what's not working until you actually do it. Now, I know that's a crazy statement, but what I mean by this is if we actually go out here and try cold calling a list and we've never cold called that list, it's either going to work really well or it's going to fail. But the coolest part about it is you just got to try it once and then everything else changes. Then everything else changes. And what I mean by this is I never knew texting was going to be so valuable until I tried it. I didn't know email blasting would actually work. And it never worked really until I figured out I can use Google Sheets and not get spam likely if I just keep changing the Gmails. I didn't know this stuff would work until I actually did it. And here's the truth. I have tried a lot of things, and most of them had about an 80 to 90% fail rate on things I've tested. I've tested Facebook leads. I've tested SEO, PPC, and I've never failed on PPC, right? I've never failed on it, but the ROI was just atrocious. It was like 1.4, 1.5x, maybe 2x on if I got nice on SEO, but like 2x return is just a terrible return for any marketing you do. So yeah, not worth it for me. But when I hit it out of the park with certain things, I hit it out of the park. Like just absolutely crushed it. Like digital bandit signs, it's like, try it out. Didn't know if it was going to work. Ended up working, right? And then you guys are doing really well with it too. But there's a reason why the things I teach you because stuff works for me. And so for anybody who's doing deals, right, it's like, okay, or you're trying to get your first deal, I would tell everyone again, if you're locally, try reverse drawing for dollars. As by far the easiest return on T, so ROT, return on time activity you could possibly have. So that means the amount of stress, the amount of mental anguish you're going to have per like 10 hours of work it's really not there when it comes to reverse drawing for dollars. So if I spend 10 hours reverse drawing for dollars, it doesn't feel too bad. It's like running versus walking. If I walked for an hour, it might be strenuous if it's hot outside, but I'm not dying. If I told you to run for an hour straight without stopping, you're going to be, oh my gosh. And then I go tell you, hey, ready to go for an hour again? You're like, what? The next day, tell you to do an hour walk again. You're like, oh, it's not bad. It's not the end of the world. It's like when you have to spend an hour driving on like an easy street versus hour on the worst. I've never had anything worse than I-10 in Los Angeles. That sucked. Rush hour in LA, no way. LA traffic, I'll never complain about traffic ever again in my life. And so, reverse drawing for dollars, it's not stressful. For most of the reverse drawing for dollars, that I tell people, I say, put some headphones in, put some good music on, and just go have fun, right? Go listen to some awesome music and just have a great day. Now, here and there, someone's going to go up and say, what are you doing? I'm just putting a note here. My partner wanted me to let you know that he's looking to buy some properties in the area for cash. Why are you my partner told me to do it. Here's his number. Call him and scream at him. But he pays me to do this. And the cool part is they can't really be mad at somebody like that, right? And so that's the cold, hard truth about it is reverse drawing for dollars is my favorite. Beats door knocking by far, right? And then from there, we can go down the list, right? Depending on your budget and the time that you have. But like I say, try email blasting, try text blasting, just try all these different lists, guys. I mean, I think so we have a 26-page PDF in freewholesaling.com, right? Of how to get started wholesaling house, like how to actually make money. And in that 26-page PDF, we have, I believe, 36 ways to get a wholesaling deal without spending a dime. So if you're starting with zero, try the 36 ways to get your first wholesaling deal without spending a dime. Try the 36. And then from there, you could try all these other lists, right? You do all the paid lists, free lists, government lists. I mean, there's so many ways to make money in wholesaling. But the best way anybody can go out here and start making money wholesaling is just by trying and doing it. And if you know you have an 85, 90% fail rate of trying something new, but that the 10% that hits is like a home run, it's a staple you're always going to use. That's all you got to do, right? So I say try everything and anything in your market. Try different zip codes, try different areas, right? Another example that I have a lot of success with is like when I was virtually wholesaling in Houston, it was okay. Like it wasn't like hot or really good. And then what I started to do was I started looking at double closings. And I found out a lot of the double closings were out in western part of Houston in Harris County, like Katy, Texas. And I was like, huh. And then I started doing the western parts. And boom. That's when I started doing fat assignment deals. And even like I look at a lot of my virtual wholesaling journey. Like I tried so hard in Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania because all the numbers lined up. It's a Midwest city, cheap prices, right? I'm like, okay, we can make Pittsburgh work. And Allegheny County, I don't know how to say it, right? Sucked. Absolutely sucked. And I did not do well there. But I said, okay, I'm not going to fail. And then I tried the city of Philly. I'm like, not good. And I tried all these different areas. And then I realized that Eastern PA, where one of my best buddies, he grew up in this small town called Pottsville in Berks County. Or it might not be Berks, but that area, right? And I'm like, I've never heard this area. And I found there's like 300,000 people in the county. I'm like, huh. This is how I find things out, right? And I say, okay, well, I'm going to go crazy. And then I crushed it in college doing that. It was absolutely awesome. And then from there, I'm like, okay, Poconos works well. And another reason why I find really good markets too, and I don't make this a secret because I try to give as much knowledge as I possibly have in the wholesale space. But what I love doing is love finding people who are doing really successful and no one talks about it. Like I really started realizing the Poconos worked really well. I think 3 or 4 years ago, there was a guy named Camille. I think he's from Poland, but cool dude. It's like a Polish name. I don't know, Camille something ski. I know that's how every Polish name ends, I think. But he was crushing in the Poconos, like hundreds of thousands a year. And I was like, whoa, I've never done this. And then I just do it, right? And the coolest part, a lot of you guys just doing it in freewholesaling.com in your areas, and you come back and say, I'm making millions of dollars. It's insane. So I see so many wholesalers go out here and they cry about it, right? They're like, oh, man, it's not working for me. I go try a different market. Even in virtual wholesaling, if your virtual market's not working, maybe try a different market, right? But my best advice for you there is maybe it's not the market, it's the marketing, right? That's one thing I say. It's not the market, it's the marketing for most people. But if you're trying to wholesale, like I was talking to a kid yesterday in the Discord last night, and he was in San Bernardino. I'm like try Hemet, maybe parts of Riverside, but you probably got to do virtual wholesaling. And he wanted to do local. I'm like, dude, like, I'll be honest with you. I think he'll do way better virtual wholesaling than in Riverside. Even though Riverside, San Bernardino, I've done lots of deals there still, right? And what I'll also tell you is just try JVs too. I mean, if you just participate in our communities, freewholesaling.com, ZachDiscord.com, right? You're just going to get JV deals just thrown on your lap. And they're fat deals. You'll make like 10 grand. It's crazy. But, oh, Lordy. So let's go back to number 2 here, right? Sorry, number 3. So again, number 1 is doing more of what's working. Number 2 is going out here and testing. Now, if that is all cleaned up and we've tested everything and we're doing everything that's already working, what's the third part, right? Well, the third part here is organizing. Now, this is the part about scaling or just making more money in wholesaling that no one wants to talk about. It's not sexy, but when I go and talk to you guys on the one-on-ones, right? We'll do one-on-ones today. Everyone loves the one-on-ones, right? I get a little crazy on the one-on-ones, right? I kind of spaz out on some people, but they drive me crazy. For example, let's talk about organizing, right? It's somebody in the Discord last night. That's like 11 o'clock. I don't know why. I couldn't sleep. So I'm like, all right, let me just hang on the Discord. And this one kid, shout out to him, by the way. But he basically told me, he said, Zach, I have no time to market. He said, I don't know how to pull government lists. Freewholesaling.com is all over the place. And it doesn't work. And I'm looking at this guy like, what? He says, I have no time. I have no time to do deals. I don't know how to do a government list. I'm like, go to Freewholesaling. He's like, it's all over the board. I'm like, it's filtered by marketing, ARV, acquisitions, disposition. What's all over the board on this? And then he just proceeds to tell me he just has no time. And I'm like, okay, Well, so I did my self-organization for this guy on the Discord. I never watched it. It was kind of funny. I'm like, okay, if you have no time, and I want everyone who has no money or some money, I want you to actually do this. This is a very intuitive. But I told him, I said, okay, if you have no time to wholesale, which there's about 0.5% of the population in the United States can say, everyone else can't. I said, show me your screen time. If you have the balls to tell me that you have no time to wholesale, then have the balls to give me your screen time. Whoa, Zach. Why are you pressing me? You're not trying to, they say, you're not trying to fix the problem. You're just trying to reply back, and you're not actually trying to help me. Bro, I asked you what your screen time was. Why are you so scared? Wait, you're scared I'm going to find 6 hours a day of TikTok on your screen time? I'm just being straight up. And number 3, this is organization. I'm trying to organize how he's spending his time. And then, organization, if everything's a mess and you try to put everything in its correct order, well, I look at your time and I'm trying to organize it. This is organization too. And this guy decided that he was not going to share his screen time, but still tell me that his life was terrible. And I was like, bro, what in the world? And I'm like, okay, well, if you want to share my screen time, tell me why you can't. Tell me your hours you work. And he said, I work 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. I said, oh, okay. So you work that 100 hours a week. He's like, I don't work 100 hours a week. And I'm like, well, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days a week, I'm assuming. He's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, then you can drive for dollars. And he said, I can't drive for dollars. I live in St. Louis. He told me, quote, that there's a drive-by. He would be hit by a drive-by if he went driving for dollars in St. Louis. And I said, homie, I said, you're not supposed to drive for dollars in the areas that have the drive-bys going on. And I know a lot of people drive for dollars in St. Louis. I don't know. Everyone thinks it's Compton out there. And St. Louis is rough. But I will tell you, if you drive for dollars in the areas that aren't high crime, it's a little crazy. But, and then I just proceed to tell the guy, I'm like, well, just give me what your screen time is and the hours you work. And then I can basically tell you if you're full of it or not. And he refused to do it. And it drives me crazy, right? I have not found many people who tell me that, Zach, I have no time. And they share me the screen time. And then I see the screen time. And it's like, wow, you have literally 1 hour a day of screen time. I can't really blame you. But when the reason is, if you're a young male, being straight up with you, I want to look at if you tell me you have no time to wholesale, give me your screen time. Most people are and every iPhone's got it. Okay. Every iPhone's got it. I want to see how much you spend on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And if it's over 4 hours a day, it's like, well, bro, something's up. And we should try to get 2 hours a day of screen time, which, Zach, you're killing me. And just start calling. One tip I give to any young man or woman, if you are struggling with your addicted to your phone, and this is the best hack I give to anyone. Okay. If you really want to make money wholesaling and you tell yourself, Zach, I have a problem with my phone. I'm on it too much. Let me give you the hack. Are we all writing this down? Are we writing this down? Okay. Go to your settings, go to accessibility, go to display. Then put your phone on a black and white filter. Make sure your phone is literally black and white. I promise you, your screen time will go down by half. They've done so many studies on this. 18, 19, 20-year-olds. If you put your phone black and white, you get less dopamine rush looking at somebody dancing on TikTok. And then you stop spending time on your phone and you start spending time calling. Because we have a dopamine problem in America and kind of in the world where, why would I cold call when I can go watch dancing monkeys on Instagram, right, at the zoo? Or why I can watch a lion go eat a gazelle on YouTube. It's like, why would I want to go out here and, cold call? Because you get more dopamine from watching the fun videos. And the videos are fun, by the way, right? And so it's like, not good. And so what you need to do is put a black and white filter on, and your dopamine rush that you get comes from the actual doing deals and making money. And it drives me crazy. Like, the dopamine rush of having a $20,000 check in your hand should be the biggest dopamine rush that you will probably get in a very, very long time. Like I remember my first wholesale deal. Think about being 17 years old with 20 grand in your bank account. The dopamine rush it's a high that I didn't be. And I want to let everyone know, you know what's the highest dopamine rush, the best I've ever felt in my wholesaling real estate journey in 8 years? Does anybody know what the highest one was? It wasn't my first deal. It's not me making millions of dollars every single year. You know what it is? You know, we've done plenty of six-figure deals this month. It's none of that. It was my first $100,000 assignment fee. That changed my life. Changed my life. Like that was like, oh, that was a dopamine rush I don't think I'll ever get back. It's the excitement on that. Like it's a rush. It's, you know, and then unfortunately how human beings work is then you get used to it. It's crazy. And then I get people all the time say, Zach, when I put on black and white, then I can't see right. I'm like, well, so you're telling me people who are colorblind can't use a phone? Get out of here. Put your screen brightness on. Make it black and white. You can live. You will not die. People can read Kindles black and white. You can do this black and white screen. And then you go back to doing deals. I promise you, if you put your phone on black and white, and if you have a phone problem, it will go away. It will completely go away. And this is a new journey. And I'm not making this a big stink yet. But if I'm finding people who give me the screen time and it's way too high, you're going black and white filter. And this will help the young men and women in America do more wholesaling. And that's just first and foremost, this is the first organization lesson for everyone. If you spend too much time on your phone, black and white filter. Then we spend more time wholesaling. We're good to go. Done. Now, I will tell everyone, do not delete your social media. I see Brianna said she's going to delete her. So I wouldn't delete your social media. I think social media is a very powerful tool. And social media is like food. You need food you can use food to live and survive, especially in a wholesaling operations, JVs, buyer, stuff like that. But you can also overindulge in it and get fat. So be very, very careful how you do it. But again, if we're actually making money, we're organizing our time right. What's the other organization that we need? I'd say first and foremost, it's getting your follow-ups in order. I see a lot of wholesalers really struggle getting their follow-ups in order. And the worst one is I ask people all the time, like, Zach, they're like, Zach, what do I do? I'm like, okay, how many follow-ups are in their CRM? They go in there and they say, oh, I have 90 follow-ups. And I'm like, whoa, you need to call each one of them. And then usually everyone says, what do you mean? Call all your follow-ups. Well, this guy, you know, I'm supposed to follow up in 2 months. I'm going to call him now. Like, but what if he gets mad at me? These excuses are so bad, man. You're going to make me crash out on the live stream again. But I'm saying it to myself. One-on-ones are going to get a little spicy. But the thing is, what do you think the seller's going to do? Are they going to say, oh my gosh, how dare Zach check in on me? Ah! No, the seller doesn't do that. That's so stupid. Hey, this is Zach just checking in and seeing what's going on with you and the house. Are you still thinking about selling it? Not yet? No problem. I won't bother you. Boom. Done. Hey, just make sure I have a happy Easter. Awesome. Well, just check in and see what's going on with you and the property. Okay, no worries. Boom. It's a 15-second one. Crazy. And something else I do too is I want to make it as easy as possible to follow up. So that's why, like on the XLead CRM, right, you can just click and call. So you just press the lead and click it and you call within the CRM. So it's weird. It's like if I have to physically dial the follow-up, you're less likely to do the follow-up. But when you just click, boom, follow-ups go up. So what I tell you is if you have people who are interested in selling or you put them on a follow-up, one thing I'll tell you is call all of them. Call all of them. If it's 80 or 90, usually pull some deals out there. Dead deals are there, and the fortune is in the follow-up. And so go do that too, right? If they don't answer the phone, please text them. Go from there, right? Now, another thing you should do is dial in your KPIs, your key performance indicators, and your numbers. And so what is a key performance indicator? Again, that is basically a metric that we look in our wholesaling business. So for example, if we are cold calling, I want to know how many calls this week that we did, how many people picked up the phone, and we can make a rough percentage of a contact rate. Now, what is the contact rate? Again, if I called 1,000 people and 100 people picked up the phone, said hello, that is a 10% contact rate. Roughly, you want to be between a 15 to 20%. Now, depending on the market, sometimes it gets down to 10 to 20%, right? But 10 to 20% is usually the one. You should be 15 in the middle. 20 is awesome. 10's like, okay. But here's the truth. The reason everyone's like, well, why do you want to track that? Well, this is how we can start scaling up even more, right? And I had somebody I had a conversation with last week. No, I think on Sunday. And he was telling me about how like he wants to make more money wholesaling, is doing well. And he's just like, I just don't know what else I can do. And basically I'd say, well, how are you getting these deals? He's like, I'm cold calling. I'm like, okay, well, how many calls do you make in the past week? And I kid you not, this man told me, and I'm getting the numbers a little fuzzy, but you could, if you remember the live stream, you can go tell me, but like he told me this and he got real smug. I made 3,800 calls this week. And he was expecting me to say, yes, sir. Oh my gosh, you're the king of wholesaling. No, I'm like, okay. He thought I was going to go on my knees and be like, yeah, you are the king. You are the master of marketing. Oh my gosh, you did 3,800. You deserve the world. I said, who cares how many calls you made? He's like, what do you mean? I made a lot of calls. I said, how many of those people picked up? He said, 170. And then I started doing the math. I went beep, bop, boop, boop, beep. And I'm like, well, dude, that's like what's 175 by 3,800? That was a 4.4% contact rate. I'm like, so I told him, I said, well, in my company, you know how many calls I have to make to get 170 pickups? He's like, how many? I said, 850. It's 20%. And he said, well, what does that have to do with me? And I'm like, well, you literally did 850 calls worth of work, but you had to do 3,800 calls to do 850 calls worth of work. He's like, what? I said, you are 5 times less efficient than the average wholesaler. And then he's like, well, what is that supposed to mean? And I'm basically trying to explain to the guy that if you got your contact rate from 4.4 to 20%, you will make 5x more money. You'll get 5x more leads, 5x more deals, 5x more money. So if you're doing 1 deal a month, doing this crazy game, if you just fixed your contact rate issue, you'll go from 4.4 to 20%. And he's like, well, how do I do that? I'm like, well, if you're at 4.4%, I know you're a hard worker, but what I did pretty much kind of devise, because I went through his KPIs with him, right? And I found out that at 4.4%, that either means one or two things. Either using terrible skip tracing, or you're absolutely using terrible phone numbers, or possibly you're not using enough phone numbers, right? Usually if you're using a dialer, you want to get at least single line dialer. If you're doing you want to get a number for every like 500 to 1,000 calls. So he was doing about 3,800 calls. He should have about 5 or 10 phone numbers. Triple line dialer, bro, if you're using triple line dialer, 3,800 calls, you need to have at least 7 numbers. And a lot of people say, oh, his data was trash. His data wasn't trash, right? He wasn't using X leads, but he wasn't using a bad service. And so his problem was, do you remember, you want to know how many phone numbers he was using? This guy was using 2 phone numbers to call 3,800 leads. I'm like, bro, what in the world are you doing? And he proceeded to tell me, he said, yeah, it is spam, but his quote was, and this made me crash out. I'm not going to lie. I went crazy. Y'all already know. He said, that's just how the game works, bro. What? That's how the game works. No. When you get a spam on your phone number, you're supposed to delete the number and then get a new number. And his problem is the problem with most dialers. They spend $10 a month per number. And so he's going to get X leads and use a better dialer. He's going to use it better because it's like $1.21 per phone. And so it's just crazy to me. And so I want to use that example as just basically telling you like why dialing your numbers are so important. And he's going to make a change. He's going to come back next week. It's going to be awesome. But he, by just using more phone numbers, most likely is going to 3, 4, or 5x the amount of money he's making because of dialing in your numbers the right way. And so that's why it's really important to know your numbers, right? And so if you're at a 4% contact rate, it's the reason why you suck right now at this is because you're most likely spam. Now, if this guy had 20 numbers and his dialer was fine, probably the data and the skip tracing is the problem. That's it, right? And we got a lot of people who use X leads and they say X leads sucks. And I don't want to tell them that we use the same skip tracing as some of these really big companies. I'm not going to name anyone, but like we use pretty much the same skip tracing as very large companies. And it's like, well, what am I? I remember this one guy said, I'm switching. This one guy told me, and this was the funniest thing ever. He said, I'm switching from X leads to this other service. And I said, okay, well, before you do that, I want you to do me a favor. I said, what? I'm like, do you have both services up right now? He said, yes, I do. I said, okay, go look at the comps and you tell me what the estimated values are for each, for just 10 random properties. I said, okay. He went back. He said, they're the same. I said, huh. I said, comp the MLS on a non-disclosure state. He said, okay. He went back. He's like, they're the same. And I'm like, huh. And I'm like, huh. He said, why is your data the same as this company's? I'm not going to say who it is. And I said, because we use the same data provider, bro. I said, it's not the data. And he's like, what? Like, yeah, X leads, we literally use the same data as many of the largest companies because I just sell it for cheaper. And I'm like, they don't own the data, right? They use it from another third party, and I use the same third party, right? And if you're smart, you can read between the lines, right? But like the thing about this is I get so many wholesalers that go out here and tell me, right? Oh Lord, valid crash out. But that's how you start dialing in numbers and knowing exactly how to do it the right way, right? And so if you want to dial in, do it the right way. And another part of knowing your numbers and stuff is knowing your markets. So for example, if you want to go out here and really assess your markets correctly the right way, what you need to start doing is looking in your market where the deals mostly are. So one thing that we always tell people to do is if you're at like 4 or 5 deals a month and you are, let's say you did 100 deals past 3 years, what I tell everyone to do who's at this level is I say, okay, I want you to map out by zip code and city where every single of your past 100 deals are. And they're like, what? That's stupid. I'm like, just do it. They're like, okay. And so they let's say they do the whole city, an entire city, right? Let's do the whole county. Let's do a whole county. Let's make it even crazier. And they do the last 100 deals. And they're marketing to the whole city. And what I do is I say, well, did you know that 80% of your deals come from zip code 1, 2, and 3? Said you are marketing currently to 30 zip codes, and 80% of your deals come from only 3 zip codes. It's like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, huh. And I'm not telling the guy to like go crazy with that, but like, what if you added a bunch of marketing channels to only the zip codes that are getting the most deals? Because the truth is, if 80% of your deals come from only 3 or 4 zip codes, you should go all in on those zip codes and maybe cut out the ones that aren't working. And you could probably end up doing more money, especially for somebody that says, Zach, on my time, I don't have enough time for cold calling. Well, cut out the ones where you're not getting the deals and only do cold calling in the areas that are getting you deals. And again, when you're scaled out, you got to do everything. But for most people trying to go from like 2 deals a month to 4, this is one of the best ones, right? And then what you also want to do is find the top zips. You want to find what channels are working. And what I do too is like, okay, your last 100 deals, 95% of them are all from cold calling. And you are spending half your time texting, half your time cold calling. If 95% of your deals from cold calling, we're going to do more cold calling. We're going to stop texting, right? And then some people, texting's where they get all the deals. They can't cold call, right? And I have grown men who come to me for advice, and they know what I have to say about wholesaling on the MLS. And I get kids who learn from me and they just say, you know, I'm going to try MLS. And they're like, very rare, but there's like 3 or 4 exceptions I know of this one kid. He's making like 100 grand, I think maybe even 120. I don't know exactly. He watches my stuff, right? He's making 100 grand from freeholding.com, only doing my methods on MLS properties. And I said, dude, you keep doing, he's like, should I do off market? I said, if you are making 100 grand doing MLS, keep doing it. And he keeps doing it. He's doing well, right? I had people go up to me. I had a guy come up to me in the gym a month ago, and he's clearing a lot of money. I'm going to make it private. He only wholesales land. All this guy does. All he does is wholesale land. And he's an awesome guy, but he only wholesales land. Literally only thing he does. And I'm like, you do your thing, bro. If that's what you're doing well, keep it. I said, maybe you should try some house on the side. He's like, no, all I do is land. I said, so you go, bro. And I love land. I don't think you should exclusively go land. But hey, if that's what's working for you, go crazy. And the point here is you should know what your weaknesses are. So you should, like, are you really good at acquisitions? Are you really bad at dispositions? Are you really good at marketing? Not like you want to know what your weaknesses are and get really good at fixing your weaknesses. Now, number here is the last one is training and hiring. Now, I think a lot of people overhire, undertrain, and a lot of people think they need to hire when they don't need to hire. Now, there's a lot of automations you can do now to really remove a lot of this overhiring. I think one of them is texting. A lot of people want to overhire when you just text sellers too. So not just hiring, but training. So the point of hiring that I've always found is that you just want to do more of what you do. I know it sounds crazy, but what I mean by this is if you are going out here and you don't want to cold call anymore, you can't cold call enough, you should hire 2 cold callers to do cold calling in areas you're not doing. So what I found with employees, no, let's call VAs. What I found with VAs is VAs are most in a wholesaling space for marketing. They are roughly 60% as good as you. So you might be like, Zach, well, so what happens is they hire one VA to do their job, and they are 60% as good as them, as good as them. So that means in a week you will get 10 leads, and the VA will get 6 leads with the same list, same time. And most people say, well, I'm going to fire the VA. They suck. That's not the problem. That's how most VAs are. And so because I mean, they're getting paid per hour, maybe per deal, but you're getting the whole enchilada of the deal. And what I always say is 60% of 100 is 60 and 100% of 100 is 100. Duh. But here's the real arbitrage. If you have 2 VAs cold calling for you, that means VA1 will get 6 leads per month, 6 leads per week, and VA2 will get 6 leads per week, which means having VAs will produce you 12 leads a week versus you who can only produce 10. So numbers at scale work with hiring for marketing VAs. This is very, very, very important. And the best analogy I can tell you about this is I love using okay, we're live here. So who's the biggest, baddest fighter? If you were in a cage with this person, who would be the scariest one you could think of? Let me know live. Who's the scariest person in a one-on-one battle? No weapons, just fists. Who's the scariest person? I could tell you John Jones, probably for me. John Jones is the scariest one if I had to deal with it. Because that guy's crazy. Okay. Hezbollah. Who would be the scariest one? John Jones, Conor McGregor. Okay. So let me ask a Jake Paul. Okay. Okay. All right. So Aaron said Conor McGregor. I think, let's say Conor McGregor. Nicholas said Conor McGregor. But okay. Patty's pretty dangerous too. But okay, let's use Conor McGregor for example. We're going to use Zach as examples because y'all can laugh at me. Okay. If I was in an MMA cage with Conor McGregor, even though I have decent skills on jiu-jitsu, a lot of wrestling, right? And I do boxing, right? And so like I have decent MMA skills. how quickly would Conor McGregor end my life? I would say within a minute, because I'll spend about a minute running around in a circle, and then I'd get tired, and then I'll be over, right? So it would take about 2 minutes for Conor McGregor to go end me. Okay, well let's do this. What if there's 2 Zachs in the cage and 1 Conor McGregor? Okay, well Conor McGregor would knock Zach 1 out, and then knock knock Zach number 2 out. So probably end it within 3 minutes. Okay. Well, what if there's 10 Zachs in the cage and we're all ganging up on Conor McGregor? Remember, I'm not a tiny guy. I think Conor McGregor's like 5'9". I'm 6'1". So 6'2" online. But if there's 10 Zachs, I'm very confident 10 Zachs ganging up on 1 Conor McGregor can win. Can we all? I think we can all agree on that. Maybe 20 Zachs. Okay. 10. I hate to tell you, I don't care how good of a fighter. If there's 10 people who are competent with boxing and MMA and all this stuff, there's nothing you can do, right? It's like how many people who are like 4 feet, how many 4 feet people would take to whoop my butt? Probably about 4. And so that's the craziest part about it, right? So if there's 10 Zachs versus 1 Conor McGregor, I don't care how good Conor, there's not one man alive that could probably destroy 10 Zachs all at once, unless they had a weapon, right? And so that's the truth with you too. Maybe if you do have no MMA skills, if 50 of you go against 1 Conor McGregor, there's nothing you can do because it's overwhelming, right? This is why if there's 5 bodyguards and there's 1 guy, the bodyguards are always going to win. It's how it always, like, there's numbers can only help you so much, right? And so another example, if you like this example, is how many Zachs will it take to beat LeBron James in basketball? If it's Zach versus LeBron one-on-one, it would just be it'd be very sad. Now, 2 Zachs against LeBron, LeBron will still win. If it's 4 Zachs versus LeBron, LeBron will probably still win. But if there's 100 Zachs on the court, 100 Zachs on the court, and 1 LeBron James, I will win the game. So that's the thing. If you get so many on your side versus just 1, you will always win. And so the same thing. So look at my company, right? If I have 20 cold callers, there's not enough cold calling I personally can do to beat the 20 cold callers on my team. And so that is how it works. All right. That's how it works. And so that's why VAs and hiring always works with marketing. They're not as good as you, but if you get enough of them at scale, they're always going to win, right? And so there's a reason why I have multiple acquisitions managers, because 1 acquisitions manager is definitely worse than me. I hate to say, right? I know a lot of people online say, well, my acquisitions manager is better than me. I still don't think so. And, they're probably watching this live. But the thing about it is, here's the problem why I usually, for local wholesaling, will have 2 or 3 acquisitions managers, usually 2. Because 1 acquisitions manager, 1 Zach, if I'm doing acquisitions, I could probably do about 8 appointments in a day, which means I go on 8 houses, an hour per appointment. That's about, 8 hours per day is 8 appointments. Well, the problem is I'm getting so many leads and so many points, I can't even do that much, right? So then I have 2 acquisitions managers who go on 16 appointments per day. I can't go on 16 appointments per day. Not even possible, right? Because I can't do an appointment at, 10 p.m. And so having multiple acquisitions managers will beat me. And so that's when you get the power of scaling, it works really well. So what I'll tell everyone to do, especially if you're starting out and you're wanting to hire somebody, I'd start with marketing VAs, not marketing VA, marketing VAs. And hopefully this will help just 1 person out. But if you're going to hire an acquisitions manager, you can do 1. But when it comes to marketing VAs, especially for texting, calling, whatever, I think you should hire like at least 2 or 3 callers, and do not pay them $2 an hour at a guy. Oh, I pay my VA $2 an hour. Oh my gosh. I pay about $5-6 an hour, I'd say, maybe 5, and give them some little commission. And the reason we hire, the reason why you want to spend around $5 an hour is because you want to have their English proficiency to be at least a E1. I think it's E1, E2. I forgot what the definition of it, right? But you got the highest quality VAs who have literally no accent. Like, if you ever see any VAs in my company, they have no accents. Like, you can't tell. Maybe a little bit, you can't really tell. And those VAs get paid $5-6 an hour. The VAs that have very thick accents in the Philippines, they get paid $2-3 an hour. And they're worth double. And one for cold calling, or let's say a lead follow-up specialist, right? Who just follows with leads all day, right? C1. Okay, yeah. C1. There we go. C1. Whatever online jobs PH's like scale is, right? But the thing about it, for a lead follow-up specialist, someone with no accent is about 3 times more efficient. There we go. So start with marketing VAs. That's where I tell everyone to do. And then what else I tell you to do is make hiring on the weakest spots on your ROI. So again, ROI is return on investment, and then return on time too. So return on investment is probably the best one. So for example, cold calling is about a $6, $7, $8 an hour task. You're not worth $8 an hour. Okay. And so not good at all, right? And so calling is probably your least important task, and then texting, and then answering inbound calls. So that is where you should start your hiring first. So if you kind of want to look at like kind of a chart of hiring people, right? I always use this chart because it's probably one of the best ones out here. Let me go find it. Where is it? I had it popped up here. Click. There we go. Okay. So this was in freewholesaling.com. I took a little screenshot from freewholesaling.com. This is roughly where a 100K a month wholesaling system looks like. Now, we are going to update this right now. We're going to update this a little in the future, but like if you're looking to really scale up a little more, right? You are going to start on the left-hand side here on marketing, right? And you don't need a VA marketing manager starting out, because that's basically going to be you. You scale up, you can have one, right? But cold calling VAs, SMS, and list pulling VAs on government lists. Then you have your acquisitions managers, and then you have kind of the dispositions, right? And a lot of people, like, they get so upset at me that, Zach, you pay your people way too much. I'm like, I don't think I do. And, you know, I would say about $4 or $5 an hour, and then you pay them per appointment created or per deal. I'd probably bump that up a little more, but your list VA about $6 an hour. And then you just have dispositions agents. They get 8% of the deal for selling it on the assignment. Your acquisitions manager gets 10%. Oh, I pay my acquisitions manager 4%. I give him 10%. The pain of rehiring somebody is way worse. And then you can have a COO in place. It could be you, could be a partner, it could just be the third person, right? And then you have you on the top. This is roughly what a good wholesaling operation is going to look like. And this really hasn't changed in years, because this is all basically off of the EOS system. So this is from, I don't recommend books too much, but this is definitely if you're looking to scale up a wholesaling business. I mean, let me see. This is an old book. This book is from 2011. But this is Traction from Gino Wickman. You can definitely get free. You definitely get free stuff from this online. But definitely one of my favorite books on scaling a business. Now, this is not 100% one-for-one what works in wholesaling, but it tells you a lot of concepts that if you don't know much about, you can get all the charts online for free. But basically, you can figure out how to start creating a real, actual like business that works. Now, I'm a very visual guy, so I think this works really good. But he has something called the EOS system, which is the Entrepreneur Operating System, I believe. Let me show right here. So he shows exactly on years and how many revenues. So like on the top, it's like an organization. If you're at like 2.1 in revenue with 15 employees, how you can bring it from year 3 from 26 to 6 million revenue, right? And I like it a lot. It really shows integrators, operations people, and then who's in charge of them, right? They have finance, sales, right? And so that's kind of my way of moving it over on the right way. Quarterly rocks, you know, meetings every single day, meetings not every single day, when to have the meetings, stuff like that. And it gives you kind of a nice base, and then you build on top of it and go from there. But one of my bases, I always pay people, I believe, the right way, and I always pay them a little more than they should, because I hate hiring new people and getting people to do it, right? One of the biggest things I can leave everyone off of VAs is if you have really good VAs, you can have that VA train the new VA, and then you don't have to train anymore. And if you pay them enough, they'll do it. And I give them like little bonuses, right? So like I had a VA once. He's awesome. He's still with us. He loves video games. And it takes roughly for me, for a VA to train them, probably about 10, 12 hours. 10, 12 hours of my time is worth a lot. and I don't want to train them. And it's a very, very specific test that I usually do all the training for. But I trained this VA to be like almost 80% as good as me. And so what I did was I offered the VA, I said, hey, I said, what about this? How about if you train this new person? And if you train them, I will pay you an extra $1 per hour and I'll give you a video game on Steam. He said, really? I said, yeah. And so I gifted him a game on Steam and I paid him an extra, I think like $30 for the week. And then the guy came in after training with him and I only need like 2 or 3 hours with him. And then boom, it was way worth my time. And so that's another hack on training that I absolutely love doing, right? And then shadowing, you can have the person training shadowing the other VA. That's another good one to do, right? But for a lot of the VAs, I think we're hiring the wrong people sometimes. And so, for example, right, you can use AI for inbound and you can use AI for lead generation. So, for example, right, I think one of the best things you can possibly do without hiring a VA is using AI agents. So, let me be straight up with you. In the next year or two, probably the biggest opportunity for people to make money in the wholesaling space, and I'm being straight up with you, is having these like agencies. And with these agencies, do you see my quotes? What these agencies are going to, and this is happening in SMMAs, and it's happening all. I have a pulse on how the entrepreneur industry is, where it's all going to go. So I don't think I publicly ever said this, but one of the biggest ways in wholesaling people used to make money was this for the past 4 years. And so this kind of died off, but let me tell you, and I kind of killed it. And let me tell you why. So the biggest way to make money the past 4 years in the wholesaling space, when you really were stupid and you didn't know what you're doing, if you were like in the software space in real estate, was create a CRM, white label it on Go High Level, and then sell it as your own. Say, this is my perfect CRM. And you kind of customize it a little bit and you sell it for $199 a month. I think you guys saw all these CRMs doing that. And it was all Go High Level. Oh, it's texting on it too. And they sold it for $199 a month. And it was like crazy. And basically for the last 4 years, that was like one of the best cash cows for a lot of people. And they never provided any value. They didn't really do anything too cool. And that's all they did. And basically what I did was I found out what this was. And I said, okay, well, how about I do that, but I give it for free inside of X Leads. And so I created my own Go High Level system called Ninja Mode. And I don't hide that it's Go High Level, right? I don't really care. And everyone was charging $97 a month for it. They were charging $200 a month. And there's still people this day who charge $300 per month for CRMs. I basically decided to take that, eat the cost of it, and give it all the way out for free. For every X Leads account, you get the Ninja Mode CRM. And this kind of killed a lot of the CRM people. But now the next side hustle that's going to come for the next 3 years is going to be selling AI agents. So AI agents to do inbound answering for you. And these services are going to come out. And about next year, there's going to be AI cold calling services. And they're all using Go High Level. I'm just being straight up with you. And not a lot of people want me to tell the truth, but like that's what's going to happen. And what I do is I just give it out absolutely for free for X Leads. But what I tell you is AI agents are here for the inbound, not the outbound yet. Outbound is coming. But the cool part about it is you can go email blast, put a phone number and have the AI agent answer the inbound call and qualify the lead for you and do it all in there, right? So email texting, we can use AI for answering text right now. It's actually pretty dang cool. And it's pretty awesome. But the thing is, a lot of people have their magical new systems. We give it out for free inside of X Leads, but you're going to see it for like $300 a month. Just don't get scammed. That's all I'm asking you. Don't get scammed from a Go High Level white label that doesn't have any leads or skip tracing included. Drives me crazy. But yeah. And if you are using a Go High Level account, you can get X Leads and transfer that account over into ours if they allow it, and you have all your data there, right? But I think a lot of people, you don't need to hire VAs, you do need to hire VAs, but a lot of these VAs you don't even need to hire anymore. Like to answer inbound calls, the AI is pretty dang good. You guys saw that on Tuesday. It's pretty dang good. The outbound's coming soon. But AI can answer so we have a lot of texting VAs and we still have them, but we've removed a lot of them. And what I mean by this is a lot of the texting VAs, we just have the AI do it because it's $127 per month for my entire company. And basically it comes out to like 50 cents per hour. And then it's going to go probably to 25 cents per hour and then 10 cents per hour because it's unlimited. And they'll answer our calls for us. So it's pretty cool. Now, AI cold calling should come out this year. Go High Levels legal team needs to really get it fixed. But once they get it fixed, it's gonna change a lot. And then from there, work your way up, keep doing what you're doing, and make sure you're mostly doing the acquisitions and the dispositions in the company. Then from there, guess what's going to happen? You're just going to scale out. So you have acquisitions people doing your job. You have dispositions people. You got the marketing. Sit back, chill out. That's how you do it. So that is how you can create a $1 million business the quickest way possible. Again, to recap it, let's talk about the 4 ways you can actually go out here and scale out your wholesaling business, right? Number 1, okay? Oops, are we sharing it? Number 1, doing more of what's working. Number 2, adding and failing new marketing lists and new marketing channels. Number 3, organizing your time, your business, your KPIs. And number 4, training and hiring. Those are the 4 ways to scale to $1 million in wholesaling real estate. I'm going to post that in the Discord and in freewholesaling.com right after the stream. And yeah, that's it. So what I want to do is answer your burning questions in wholesaling real estate and anything from this live stream, anything like that. If you guys want a personal coaching call, I will do that here. Those are my one-on-ones I call. So all I have to do is click the streamer link, hop on, talk to me on a Zoom type situation, and go from there. So let's see what's going on here. How can I help you out? So let's see what's going on here. Jesus says, any tips on how to mass send SMS text on Ninja Mode to avoid getting suspended? So Jesus, what you need to do is you need to go out here and figure out why you got suspended. Most likely, the reason you got suspended was maybe your opt-out language is not correct. Maybe there's too many opt-outs. Maybe as your script, you need to go figure out why you got suspended. So if you go to your settings, phone numbers, regulatory, whatever that thing's called, and then you go in there and then you can figure out exactly what your issue is. You can fix it. And like always, guys, if you go to freewholesaling.com, a free wholesaling course and community, the largest wholesaling community and the largest wholesaling course in the country, check it out right there. You get all my information and my new courses. Just came out with a new course, the email offer generator, how to send 30,000 emails absolutely for free. Pretty dang cool. Let's see here. Let's see. Everyone wants to sell their magic cold call. Oh, Lord. Have you ever had a VA sell your leads? I've never caught a VA doing it. I know VAs that sell leads, and it's pretty scary stuff. I know. Remember back when people used to use skip tracing companies before X leads? I know a lot of people use skip tracing companies. They used to steal the data. That was crazy. But I'm not going to say who. But yeah, you're going to see that a lot too. But yeah, guys, watch out for the whole AI texting CRM for $300 a month when you just get X leads and it's all included for it. And if it looks like Ninja Mode, you know it's go high level. Oh, wow. Everyone's scared of Mike Tyson. I don't think Mike Tyson's going to. Mike Tyson is prime? Oh, yeah. Let's see. His number is likely spam. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see here. See, I got some. Sorry, Mark, I got something at 5, unfortunately, so I can't do that. Let's see. Brianna says, got my second deal signed. Woo! Working on a $22,000 assignment fee while helping this woman. I love to see that. That is sick. Love to see that. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. 22K. That is not a bad chunk of change right there. So let's see. Veronica says, I'm ready. I don't need another job. I need to retire. Now student loans are a big weight. So wholesaling houses, that's the best place to be doing it. Brandon says, hey, Zach and Rick and Zach, I'm a new wholesaler and I have a question. does your title company and your cash buyers have to be in the same state as where you're trying to make a deal? So your title company should be where the deal is at, right? Or your attorney, right? Could be attorney state. And your cash buyers should, but they don't have to be. No, not at all. Let's see here. Rick and Zach are bringing all the ingredients under one place. What's up, John? One thing I will say, though, too, is me and Rick did a podcast yesterday on the Flipboard channel. Let me know if you guys like that. Maybe we'll do another podcast, see how it does, and see how much value you guys get from it. A little different. Let's see. All right, let's see here. Chicago traffic. Oh, Lord. Okay, we're getting a lot of good questions here, though. Let's see. Trace says, I don't know how to access the 101. So if you click here, let me click the streamer link. Oh, she's on here.
Yeah,
oh, there
hi.
we go. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Nice to meet you. What's going on? How can I help you out?
Okay, so I watch all your videos. I watch all the schooling stuff, and I get really excited and think that I can do this. But then when I actually go into try to do something, I don't know what it is. I get overwhelmed. I get scared, and I don't know how to do it, like the government lists. Okay, so you show how to do it. It looks totally easy. I know I'm capable of doing it, but when I actually sit down to go do it, I don't know what to do anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. How long have you been trying to get into wholesaling?
Oh my gosh, don't laugh. Let me see. Since before I moved from San Jose to Fresno, which was it's been about 3 months now. And I want to do it so bad, Zach, so bad.
It's not bad. 3 months is fine. Okay, so do you know how to eat an elephant?
No.
One bite at a time. You don't eat the whole thing at once, okay?
Okay.
Right?
Awesome.
So this is a whole elephant we got, right? So we need to just kind of do this in bite-sized portions.
Okay.
And then we can get better and better, right? So I think the first thing you need to do is we need to figure one thing out, and then we just get better and better and better at it. So let's talk about government lists first.
Okay.
So you're in Fresno, right?
Correct.
Okay. So do you know the type of government lists?
Do I know the type of government lists?
Like code violations, probates, stuff like that?
Fire, et cetera, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So that's pretty spelled out in Wholesaling.com. If I actually see if I can pull up that PDF I got. That just should visualize it. Oh, let me show this.
So I actually did pull up one of those for the Fresno area, and it listed like what code violation, fire, et cetera, on down. But the thing is once I got it up there on the screen, I didn't know what to do with it, Zach.
Okay.
I get
okay. So how are we skip tracing? Are we using True People Search, cyber background checks? How are we getting the phone numbers?
See, this is what I'm saying. I get the list, and then I don't know what to do from there. I get so overwhelmed.
Okay.
You know,
So
I am a person that has ADHD pretty bad, but I don't care.
Okay.
It's not going to stop me. But I think that's where I'm having the problem. I just go and hit a brick wall.
So here's the 26-page PDF. I'm going to put in the comments for everyone.
All right.
We're gonna rewrite this. I wrote this year, but I just gotta every month I need to update it. So basically, this is kind of the software stack we use. So if you want to skip trace, if you have no money, this is what I'd use for skip tracing: True People Search and cyber background checks.
Okay.
If you're using a paid service, I would use XLeads. Now, government lists, spreadsheets right here.
Okay.
Right. So these are all the government lists we're able to get. Code violations, probates. This is all free data, right?
Okay.
And so it's all in there, right? Okay. So if I'm looking to, I don't know, if I'm looking to comp, right? Figure out, what the property's worth. These are the two tools, and we go from there, right?
Okay.
Now, if I'm looking to get a deal with no money, these are 32 ways to do it, right? I'm not going to go through this whole system with you because
right. I get you.
Lot.
I get you.
But So you're telling me you're overwhelmed. I think this will help you a lot. But like,
Okay.
okay, skip
I
Tracy.
do have that downloaded, by the way, on
Okay.
my computer. Okay.
So let's do one thing at a time here. So
Okay.
let's just work on pulling a government list first and foremost, right?
Okay.
So you said you pull the list and you don't know what to do from there, right?
Well, actually, I think I just brought up the copy of what you just showed me
Mhm.
with the United States thingy next to it. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Oh, Zach, you'll be proud of me one of these days. I promise.
Yeah, we're not. What rush are we in?
Yeah, thank you for that, because I actually did real estate appraisals for 4 years. I had my real estate license, and wholesaling just seems like so much more fun than either one of those. And I
Oh, yeah.
actually love doing appraisals, so I can't wait to dive into this. Put it all together in my head and start doing it. Once I do, I'm gonna keep trucking.
Okay, so we've got the list though.
Okay,
What we need to do after we get a list is we need to go get their phone number.
right. So so I go to the government list things, right? And then I just click on one of those addresses,
Yes.
and that's
And
going to give me a list.
yes.
Okay.
So we have two options we can do, right? We
Uh-huh.
can go out here and we can just do it one by one if we're using cyber background checks, trivial search, or we bulk import into X leads. I don't really care which one you do, but you just got to get a phone number.
Okay.
Okay. And then we got to get their phone numbers. And then we're going to put that into a Google Sheets or Excel. So make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, after we go and do that, we can
Uh-huh.
go and start the next process. Now we got the numbers. We can either call them, we can text the lists, we can go reverse drive for dollars, we can drive for dollars. There's so many ways we can do it. So I think it's very overwhelming. There's so much you can do.
Right.
I mean, how much time do you have?
I have I can make the time. I can make the time because I just have to take care of my little baby grandson for going to school from in the morning, but then I don't have to pick him up until in the afternoon. So I got like a 4-hour window right there. And then after
Awesome.
that, I have plenty of time.
Okay. Well, what I would probably tell you to do then is I would just call maybe 10 hours a week of government lists. Why not?
10 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just come back to me after that.
Call 10 hours.
And then if you got someone to sell, you just come back on here. I will help you out.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, and honestly, Zach, I'm going to tell you what happened. I signed up with a guru. Okay. And I was pumped. I even found some places in Oklahoma that they wanted to work with me. Right.
Mhm.
And I texted them back, one of the gurus, and they just dropped me like a hot potato because I didn't want to pay the $5,000. When I found you, I cried. I was like, who is this man?
I mean, I don't really care. I
Well, I'm just saying,
I don't really want to know.
that kind of like, it kind of like kicked me in the butt a little bit. So finding you has been like so much.
Well, I have nothing mean to say about anyone that sells anything
And
anymore. I'm a different man.
I understand.
$5,000's probably not even bad, but I personally don't think it's the best thing. But like, if you want to pay, you go pay. I could really care less. But the thing is, well, if you don't have the money to spend on it, then just do something else, right? I just teach it for free, but that's just me. Okay, so
that's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to call 10 hours a week for government lists, and then when I get some numbers, what have you, come back on to one of the one-on-one calls and let you know what I did, right?
yes. Also, what I tell you to do is, do you know how to work freewholesaling.com? Yeah, you're already in it, right?
Yes.
So I would make posts in there and just say, hey, can somebody help me with this? We got an awesome community. Would all love to help you out.
Okay. So post stuff on the community.
Yep.
For help stuff on.
Yeah, there's a little post, right? So you can go on the post site and just, hey, I need help with this. Everyone wants to help you out. Trust me.
Okay.
We're all here to help you out.
For help. Okay, great. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
There we go.
Okay, I'm going to make you proud, Zach.
There we go. Let's do that part first, and then come back to the next part.
Okay, great.
Just understand there's no rush. You are not in a rush, okay?
Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you, Zach.
There we go, Tracy. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Talk to you soon.
There we go. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of people think I like trashing these real estate coaches. I could really, at this point, I could really care less. The truth is, I've said a lot of nasty things in the past, the thing is, now we have the largest wholesaling community. And if you look at all the YouTube channels, right, we have the largest wholesaling YouTube presence by views and subscribers per month and all these. Like, we have the largest wholesaling audience. I have the largest wholesaling community. I have the largest wholesaling course. So for me to talk bad about anyone who has, a smaller community and a smaller course, it's kind of sad. So I have nothing bad to say anymore. With the largest wholesaling community. So about us. And so that's all I could say. And if you're selling a expensive program, like, maybe it's worth it. Maybe go try it out. I don't think you should, but some people have to spend 10 grand on a course and then say, wow, that didn't work. And then they come back to me, and that's fine. So sometimes you got to pay that tax. That's fine. And some people they do great. So I got nothing good or bad to say. I mean, just general thoughts. I mean, not really anything on there. So yeah. Taurus, what's going on?
Oh, hey man, how's it going?
I'm blessed. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, bro. We talked before, but I want to say I finally got my first deal under contract.
There we go, man.
Right. I JV'd this deal with someone else in the course with us.
There we go.
And things were going smooth. It's in Alabama. I want to say these sellers have a personal relationship with me. They were friends of mine. Their mom passed. It's a probate.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right. I want to tell you, this is the problem. I'll just get right to it. So everything was going good. My JV partner convinced me to lower the contract, like, what we would put them under contract for, because the house is in disrepair. We can't get a contract out there to get a full estimate. But at this point, they're on the contract for $30K. The roof needs a whole new roof and everything, and it's dirty. Whoever gets it is going to have to do full renovations and repairs. I can't get the sellers to agree to lower the fee. It's already at $30K. I believe on Zillow it says it's worth 136, 173. I'm not too good with the numbers because she did the comps. She's doing the dispo. She presented a buyer. She did everything she was supposed to do, but it's like I can't get my sellers to close. Like I don't know. Like, I've already explained the numbers to them. I've already set it up for them to understand. And at this point, me and her aren't even looking at a great assignment fee because the buyer is like, he needs wiggle room. Oh, this won't work. I'm just at a loss currently.
Okay, so the seller won't change the price.
The seller doesn't want to go lower than what they signed on the contract for, and that was work getting them at that.
Okay. I mean, what do you think the property can sell to a buyer for?
Originally, I thought 50K. Originally, I thought 50K, but after running, like, she did the ARV and everything, like, basically repair cost is what's killing us.
Okay, wait. So what do you have it locked up for?
30K.
And what do you think a buyer can buy it for?
I think, and I'm not good at the numbers, Zach, I'll let you know again. I thought it could sell at 50.
But what can it actually sell for?
She's saying, my JV partner is saying, like, because she's used to fix and flips, she's like, she wanted to put them under at 20 and get it sold for 30.
Oh boy.
She's more experienced. So I trust what she's saying. I don't think it's her. It's just me not being able to convince my sellers to. It was their mom's house. They're friends of mine too. So I'm trying to please everybody, satisfy everyone in this deal. But at this point, the contract is supposed to expire on May 9th. We had one buyer. He wanted it. His offer was 25. And then he said if they clean the house, he'll give us 30,
Yeah.
But my sellers, the brother and sister, it's already entitled. I thought we would have a hard time with probate. It was easy. It's ready. The buyer wants it, but they don't want. So I had to tell my partner, like, they don't want to work with that buyer because they don't want his price. They don't want his offer. And now I'm stuck. And I'm like, what do I do?
Oh man, my guy. Okay. There's two ways this can go, man. Right. So way number one is you can prove everyone wrong and find a buyer at 35-40, or you walk away from the deal. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not even a good creative deal because it needs too much work, and I don't like creative deals that need too much work. I'll be straight up with you. So I would probably tell you, most likely here in your situation, I would try to find a buyer and see where they're at. That's the best thing you can do, because if they're not willing to go down in price and they already signed a contract, you can't really force them. So I would probably just try to find a buyer and see what price they're at and try to prove the person wrong.
Understood.
Not
Yeah.
much you can do here, as you know.
Well, how much I can do?
Of how much the seller will sign it for. They're not going to sign it at 20, right?
Originally, because my inexperience caused me to tell them, hey, we could get this house sold for $50K. And that was just what the sellers get. I had not even included my assignment fee. So when I got with my JV partner,
you filled them up with smoke in their brain, and now they think,
indeed, but I rectified it with my JV partner, and we got them to sign a contract for $30K in an attempt to flip the contract for $50. But as she told me, she felt like that wouldn't sell because of the repairs. Like, she originally wanted to lock them up under $20K, but he was not going for it. The brother is the decision maker. He is not going for that, man. Like, he's like, no. And I don't know. It's sentimental to him. It was his mom's house. They grew up in it. She passed away. It's just been a year. And it's free and clear. No taxes until October. And I was like, this is the best time to make a move and take action. But at this rate, I'm not even sure my JV partner wants to keep working on it, because she did her part. She disposed it. She got the comps for me and everything. She did everything. I brought the sellers to the table. I got them to sign at the 30, and I thought, all right, bet this is going to be smooth selling. And here I am. And at this point, yeah, I did tell her we should be looking at other buyers, but I'm not great at this point yet. I'm learning from her. She's being great. She's teaching me as I go.
do what I said. Try to find a buyer.
Indeed,
man. That's how we got to do it, man. So do you know how to find a buyer?
I learned a couple of ways. Going to Zillow and look for rents and look in the area. I probably should give more context that this is in Tuscumbia, Alabama. I'm like, man. Yeah, but I was thinking, if you probably know something better. At first in my head, I was like, there has to be people who buy homes from out of state. Like, because right now, from my knowledge, my JV partner was looking locally in the area for fix and flipper buyers and stuff. But I haven't thought or put action into finding people who buy homes from other areas and stuff and have the income.
Very small market, man. This is a very small market. Oh, geez, man. I mean, I don't like wholesaling this area, but okay. Oh, boy. Okay, so the for rents is probably going to be my favorite thing to do. I'd go to the for rents. That's where I'd start, and I'd try to find Facebook cash buyers. We just go to the dispositions section of Wholesaling.com. We'll show you how to do it right there.
Yes, sir.
That's how I'd be doing it, man.
All right, man. I appreciate that.
All right. And then Taurus, if you want, maybe, I know it's crazy. Why don't you try to find another JV partner?
Yeah, I'm probably just too nice, right? See if
someone's got better buyers. I mean, go to ZachDiscord.com. It's below, right? ZachDiscord.com. That's our free Discord. Almost got 23,000 people in there. I mean, maybe there's one guy that has a really good buyers list.
You're right. Tell me something then. On the tactful side, right? Like, I didn't want to be rude to her because she did put in so much work. How do you terminate a contract like that? Because we sent our JV contract name to title as well. Or do I just add one more JV partner? Is that how that works?
You'd have to terminate with them, and they would have to be in agreement on it too.
Understood. So I just have to ask her.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate that, man.
Well, maybe you should try to find someone first, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I was probably just going to be transparent with her and let her know. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm not good at, breaking hearts or nothing.
Were you dating her?
Nah, man. It just feel kind of bad because she came out of nowhere and helped me.
Well, she can't. Here's the thing about wholesaling and dating. Dating is all emotional, and with wholesaling, it's all numbers. And so if she can't provide the numbers, she goes.
Understood. This is a business.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And so, dating is all about the heart and how you feel. And then on the wholesaling part, it's how my numbers and my wallet feels. And if I'm being disrespected emotionally, that they go. If I'm being disrespected financially, they go. I'm not even trying to be funny, but like if that person can't get the deal done, they go. Now they should have an opportunity to go try to find a buyer, but if they can't do it, then no.
Understood.
You got to separate business from personal life, and as long as you're not dating this person, I mean, get them out.
No, yeah, I'm not dating her. It's just I'm just too nice. But you're right though. This is business.
There we go, man. All right, Tars.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Zach.
There we go. Remember, we're gonna start with it's not you, it's me. They started out,
All right,
right?
bro. All right.
All right, just kidding. All right, have a good one.
You too, bro.
Oh Lord. Kyle, what's going on?
What's going on, Zach? How are you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm good. I just been going through the school course and everything. I've been in this for a little bit. But I'm like around 20. I kind of just like I'm about to quit my job and everything. I have a lot of money saved up, so I'm just like, I'm in a good place. But I just wanted to start and I wanted to do land. I had a little bit of experience with land. I never called that much, like maybe like a few hundred people, and like I would get almost a deal. I know I just need to call a lot more. That's all it really is. But I just wanted to I just had a few questions. Just want to solidify my plan.
Okay.
So yeah, I was a little bit confused with the virtual. I'm in San Jose, so it's kind of hard to obviously wholesale land here. I remember in one of the videos you said you get both parties to go at closing. I don't know if
What
I
area
understood
again?
that correct. What was it?
What area again? Cut out.
Oh, I live in San Jose, but I was gonna probably wholesale somewhere. I was thinking Oklahoma. Is there like a law in Oklahoma City, or would you think about Oklahoma City?
Kyle, I think you should go to Wholesaling.com and actually figure out what the law really says versus what he said, she said.
I remember I saw like a section on it that you had. It said
What did it say?
Oklahoma. I clicked the
Enlighten
link,
me. Enlighten me, Kyle.
I clicked the link, but it said it said this link like no longer works. So I didn't know exactly. I saw some of the other links they worked, but that one I wasn't exactly sure. But I remember you said it was a good virtual wholesaling market. It was on the list, so I was wondering.
All right, let's go to Wholesaling 101. So I'm just curious. Like, I'm just legitimately curious. Not trying. So when you click this link, it says it doesn't work.
Oh yeah, it was right there. You can check the.
Let me click it. Let me click it. Oh, it's working. Dang it! I thought it was going to work. You said this video doesn't work.
No, the Oklahoma,
why don't you scroll to where I talk about Oklahoma in this video? I'm genuinely curious.
I kind of just clicked on the link. My bad. I didn't get to that video yet, but I was just checking because I was just this. I didn't go through everything. I just clicked on the link to see if it was what was up with the laws there. I was still kind of deciding on my virtual market. I wasn't exactly sure. Yeah, I haven't fully started.
All right, scroll to where I talk about Oklahoma here. I think this is Oklahoma right here. That's Kentucky. I mean, basically, you got to watch that video, right? I mean, there's a reason why it's in Carlson.com. Maybe the link's not working. It's basically you can't publicly market for sale. That means just basically don't post it on Facebook. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving legal advice, but it's pretty stupid law.
Okay, so as long as I just don't post it or
that's what I'm defining public marketing. I mean, I have no public marketing definition from the law, so that's how I'm defining it.
Sounds good. And then as far as closing goes, do I have to? I remember Rick talked about a lot of the fees associated with closing. Do I have to negotiate any of that? That's just the buyer.
That would be the buyer mostly, unless you're going to double close or anything like that. But I don't think it should be your biggest issue.
Okay, and then when on the closing day, I just call the I get the seller to come in at a different time than the buyer, or does the buyer not always come in to the closing?
The title company should be able to handle. They should be able to handle that all themselves.
Okay, so I don't tell them to do it at a certain time or
come in. The title company will handle it. So you tell them what times will work best.
Okay, sounds good. Do I avoid having them come in at that similar times?
I mean, I would. I'd have the
Okay.
buyer come first and the seller.
Okay, perfect. And then I also just saw one of the I wanted to get like a I didn't really care how much them like I would get from the deal. I kind of just wanted to get like the proof of concept. So I was thinking about like starting off with some land. I saw that your Rick said it would be good to call like 10,000 leads just to start. Is that like a good number to reach for if I work like 4 to 6 hours a day?
If you do that in Oklahoma City, I think you do really good.
Oh, okay,
You
sounds
should do the
good.
county in Oklahoma City's county, but I think it'll work really well. I
Okay,
think it's a great idea.
sounds good. And if usually when I did this, I would kind of just like market in areas that already have like new developments. Like I would see like lands being sold there, and it
Are
wouldn't be
you
hard
only
to
doing
find
land
some.
in Oklahoma?
That's what I'm planning on starting with, but I don't know. Do you think that would be like if I just want to get a deal quick? It doesn't really matter how much it is. I just want to get the proof of concept in
Kyle,
my
why are
head.
you scared of wholesale houses?
Honestly, in the
Kyle,
past,
let me ask you a question, Kyle.
Mhm.
Are you scared of houses?
It's just that in the past, it seems like they're a lot more emotionally attached to it. It's a lot harder to. I feel like they're a lot more offended by the idea of selling it, kind of.
Okay. So when did you start caring about what other people thought about you?
It's not so much about me. It's more just I feel like it's easier to the idea is easier for them to stomach, so it's more likely, you know.
Okay, Kyle, let me ask you a question. Why are you scared of how other people think about you? Same
I
question.
just don't want to fail for a month.
Okay. So if you want to fail, you would only do land. You understand this,
Mhm.
right? There's a lot less land in Oklahoma City. I mean, why don't you do houses and land? If you want to go nuts, dude. The thing about you'll make a lot more money wholesaling houses in Oklahoma City than you'll do doing land.
Is there another city that's better for land or?
Why are you so caught up on land, man?
I just remember one of your videos saying it's if
Are you
you just
homeless?
want to.
Like, are you scared of houses? I don't really
No,
understand why you're so scared of houses, man. What did a
I
house
just
ever do to you?
nothing. But I just saw one of the videos that Rick made and one you made, and you're just saying there there's a lot less drama involved, and
There is.
it's a lot easier.
And
Yeah,
there's
it's a lot
also a
easier
lot
to get
less
your first
money.
deal. I'm okay with that at first. Obviously, I want to expand into houses, but I just thought
So
it
you're
would
telling
be.
me you're okay with you don't want to make more money. You just want to make less money.
I mean, I would think it's a little bit easier to get my first deal that way.
Okay, Kyle. You know what? Why don't you only cold call land and then get back to me and tell me how that works in a month?
I mean, I can do that, but
Just
I
only do
just
land
wanted
and then
to.
get back to me in a month and tell me how that goes. Okay.
Okay.
Genuinely going to be curious how this plays out. And then if anybody in here wants to wholesale houses in Oklahoma, do the government list, then come back to me and we'll do a little experiment. I've ran this experiment for 6 years on freeholston.com. How many people are millionaires through wholesaling land and how many people are millionaires through wholesaling houses and land? And there is a lot more people becoming millionaires through houses than land because you can't make as much money on land. But hey, go nuts, dude. For every one guy that crushes on land, I have like 50 to 100 doing houses. But prove me wrong.
I
You have
mean,
a
I do want
genuine
to
fear of
expand into that.
houses. So maybe you should only do land right now.
Say again?
It seems like you generally do not want to wholesale houses, man. So let's just do let's do land.
And you just think like, I mean, do you think it's a bad idea? Like, I won't get a deal, or do you think it's just not? It's not
You
as
might get a
lucrative.
deal. You might get a deal. You might not. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. The chance of you getting a deal in the month is about, I'd say 60% less, just only doing land. Because you're
That's because
competing
there's
with other
less.
people who only do land.
So, I mean, I should I cold call a lot of like, if I have like a lot of time, do you think I should still just while I'm pulling a lot of the government lists, I should cold call a lot of just liens, high equity liens, everything like
Oh,
that.
there's no liens on land. You're just going to pull a list of land. And you're just going to go crazy. And then when you run out of land in Oklahoma City, you're just going to sit there in your chair and just manifest a deal. I don't know. Because you're going to run out of land pretty quick. if you're only doing Oklahoma City. So if you're doing multiple areas of land, make sure you buy a bunch of phone numbers. I don't know what to tell you, man. I would just go all in on the land and then get back to me. I personally think you should do houses, but you're very caught up on this. So let's just try land and then get back to me.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate it. Sounds
I
good.
appreciate it, man.
Thank
There
you.
you go, Kyle. I got nothing wrong with it, but like if you're this caught up on doing land, go do it. Prove me wrong. But if you come back to me after 3 months, it's like I've got no deals in 3 months, only doing land. I don't know. Like, guys, I love land, but land, I wholesale houses and land. I do both. I just don't do one thing. That's it. Elijah, what's going on? Elijah.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, man?
So, really quick, I got a tax delinquent property in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was talking to this seller yesterday. His grandparents' house. Long story short, he can't afford the rehab, but there's also a $27,000 lien on the property,
Ooh.
and so I was just trying to get some help with that. I've never dealt with
Okay.
these type of properties before, so
No
I don't
problem.
even know how to call them back with an offer.
Okay. So do you know how to deal with houses that have a mortgage on them?
Kinda, yes.
Okay.
Like the creative route.
No. So, for example, if we lock a property up for $200,000 and there is a $50,000 lien, that means the seller is going to get $150K at closing because the whatever is owed as a debt is going to be paid off, right?
Right.
So let's do extra math because I know you probably love math. I love math too. Just kidding. No, I hate it. But basically, if there is a $50,000 mortgage and a $30,000 lien for tax delinquency, that means in total they owe 80 grand. 50 plus 30.
30.
Let's do a $30,000 lien. So that's 80 grand that's owed. And if we lock up the deal for 200, that means the seller gets 200 grand. 80,000 gets paid. That means they net 120.
Okay.
So the only really issue is if they owe more than what the contract is. And I doubt you're in that situation. Most houses in wholesaling, you're not going to deal with those.
Okay. So, cause I just did some numbers like quickly last night, and if the ARV is around 85,
Okay.
then I did 70%. And so basically I came down to as is the property would be worth like 46, and I believe that's what it said on X Leads. So then I was just gonna subtract the 27,000 from that and basically offer 19.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
That's not bad at all. See, you're following the process pretty well. A lien's like a mortgage. So if the property is worth more than what the lien is, there's numbers to be. And then you just got to lock it up for at least what the lien is at or a little bit above that. And you're doing good there.
Okay, and then one more question. When it comes to probates and you're pulling them offline, if the PR is only the lawyer, do you reach out to the lawyer or do you do some more investigation and try to find a relative?
It'd be very weird that the PR is the lawyer, but it does happen. I would reach out to the family, not the lawyer.
Okay. All
There you
right,
go.
man. Yo, thanks a lot. I'm glad I was
Hey.
able to get on here.
Hey, you got leads, man. My hat's off to you. You're doing the marketing, you're doing the work. I see it. I appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to uploading the contract to sell my paper, man.
There we go, man. Let's get it done.
Have a good one.
Appreciate it, man. There we go. And yes, if you do have a JV you want to send it to sellmypaper.com. We're taking a ton of JVs and we're good to go. Now, remember, guys, on sellmypaper.com with these JVs, I will accept them. I will give you an answer roughly from the team of how it goes. But there are two important things, okay? Number one, if the deal does not work, do not cry to me. Zach said my deal doesn't work. There's a reason why the deal don't work. And I don't reject people. I say, hey, this is locked up for too high, which is most of the cases. That's most deals sent in. They're locked up for too high. Don't cry about it. Okay. We can get a deal sold in as little as 24 hours. But the problem is the deal's locked up too high. I will tell you, hey, you need to lock it up. You have it locked up for 100. You need to lock it up for at least 80. Don't be upset or cry to me that I do. The one thing is I have a lot of good buyers, but I will tell you this. I do not send bad deals to my buyers. Please understand this. And so if you have a marginal deal, it ain't going to work here. If you have a deal where you called all the buyers and they all said 100 and you locked it up for 110, well, Zach's going to find a buyer for 120. That's not going to how it works. Just FYI. Elliot, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm all right. Just had a quick question. You actually helped me back a while back. And like I fell off, so my question was like to get back on. I don't know if you remember, I was on third shift and I'm trying to get off of third shift with wholesaling. I'm here in Tennessee, Murfreesboro.
Okay. I mean, how long was the last time we talked?
Yeah. It's probably been 4 months. It's been a while.
Maybe. I don't know. We fell off, so I mean, we're kind of back to square one, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. So why did you fall off? Couldn't get any deals?
I couldn't get any deals. To be honest, I don't think I was making enough calls.
Okay. So make more calls. I mean, how many calls were you making?
I was getting between just like 60 to 100, but it was like every other day. I believe you told me.
It's not bad.
Okay, so I just need to.
I mean, 50 calls a day is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So what's the plan going forward?
I haven't drove for dollars or anything, so I need to do that. And
Oh, you know it.
yeah, sticky notes. I actually just got done watching a video before I got on here. I'm going to try your email thing this tomorrow.
Whoa, Elliot! You're gonna try?
I'm gonna do.
What pathetic answer was that?
Yeah.
Your words are very powerful, man. When you say you're going to try something, you're already giving yourself permission to not do it.
Okay.
You are going to do it.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I know it sounds stupid, but like it's serious stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to try to be alive driving today. No. You do not have that mindset, man.
All right.
No. You're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because when you say you try, you usually quit, and you already quit. So we're going to stop being a quitter.
Gotcha. So I'm going to actually do that today.
There we go. I like that language. There we go. You sound more confident. Confident people talk like that.
Yeah, cause like you said, I just got to get back on. I'm really trying to get my first deal. I'm trying to get to your software. I believe it's actually free right now. Is it? Yeah. Let me go on there. I'll do that today too. Also.
Awesome.
And like I said, I'm here in Murfreesboro, so should I stick with? I believe this is a non-disclosure state, so should I stick with tax delinquency and reverse drive for dollars like that?
I think driving for dollars would be your best thing you could possibly do right now. Because if you're having a lack of calls, then I don't think Tennessee is a non-disclosure state. Yeah, it's not.
For pre-foreclosures?
What's a non-disclosure state for a pre-foreclosure? You mean you can't get pre-foreclosures in Tennessee?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Am I wrong?
I think you're wrong.
Okay. I think you're right. I will go back to your page.
All right. But I go to freewholesaling.com.
I'm on there.
And I would be part of the community. I'd be talking. I don't see an Elliot in there posting or communicating with other people. You go to ZachDiscord.com. I want to see the Discord too, hanging out with people and talking to other successful people. I don't see that.
Okay, I'll do better. I think Yeah, I got to level 3. Yeah,
That's great. Just participate with other people doing well. That's my best advice for you right now.
gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's all I wanted. I will get on
Okay.
that starting today and tomorrow.
Okay, so tell me what you're going to be doing.
I'm still gonna be cold calling, and I'm gonna reverse drive for dollars and get these emails together today.
I like it.
Today.
There we go. And what's your work schedule looking like?
Work schedule, like I said, graveyard shift, so I'm 8 till 5 in the morning.
8 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Yep.
Okay, that's plenty. You can wholesale 5 to 7. You get it's plenty of great cold calling time. And then, what time usually you have to get up at?
Um, I usually get up around 12.
Dude, you got plenty of time, man.
I think that's what my problem was. I was cold calling in the morning.
Bad idea. A lot of people think you have to wake up at 4 a.m. to be a successful person in wholesaling. That's not the truth. Like if the dang truth is if you do noon to 8, you do better than the guy doing 9 to 5.
Noon to
Because
8.
5 to
I
7
can
p.m.
do
is the best marketing time ever. So now, of course, like I would say roughly, 5, 6 a.m. you get up. That's great too. But like it really depends what you want to do because like there's not much wholesaling to be done after 8, 9 p.m. So that's kind of a
Gotcha.
waste also. So it's like you gotta figure out what you want to do.
All right, definitely. I believe I got it figured out. I think I'm just back in that analysis paralysis because I just wasn't getting nowhere. So I definitely need to up my numbers, and I definitely need to reverse drive for dollars because I kept saying I was going to do it, and I never did, and then I just fell off from there.
So let's do this, man. Let's
Yeah.
reverse drive for dollars this week. I want to get at
Yes.
least 100 sticky notes put out.
Got it.
Pre-foreclosures, we got to go try to get that list. Sorry, we will get that list.
Yeah.
I caught myself there. And then number 2, we are going to go cold call government lists. And then you're going to get back to me. Just focus on those 2. And then emails. 3 is emails. Then get back to me. All right?
Yeah, I can do that.
You will do it.
Yes, I will do it.
Man. I
Got it.
appreciate
Got
it.
it. Got it.
Let's just be really focused.
Uh-huh.
And let's just commit to 3 months of this. And I think you're going to see some great results.
All right. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Elliot.
Yep.
There we go. Phillips.
Hi, Zach.
Long time no see, man. What's up?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm doing good. How's the baby?
She's doing fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Awesome.
She's almost a year.
Whew. Oh, man. Hey, time flies, man. Phillips. Hello? Dang. Mohammed.
Hey, what's going on? You can hear me?
How's it going, man?
I'm good. I'm good. You?
Dude, every day above ground's an amazing day.
Good. Good. So I have a game plan, and by the way, just saying, I'm unemployed. I'm broke. So to get that out the way, I have all the time in the world.
There we go.
And then I don't know if it's a problem or if it's a good thing, but I always plan. By the way, I've done 0 deals until now. Finished the course, did everything, but I'm planning ahead a little too much, and I just want to know if the game plan is solid or not. We did talk about like 2 times, 3 times. You did tell me not to do it in New York. I listened. I would say halfway. So I just want you to hear it out and then tell me your opinion or if there's something that I could improve.
Okay.
So first, I'm hopping on the dialer. I'm going to be doing the virtual 4 days a week. I'm calling from 9 to 2. I know that you just said from 5 to 7 p.m. is the best time, so I'm going to change that.
Good.
But because of my time, I'm going to try to do both. I'm gonna figure it out. But from 9 to 2, the game plan is to call for 4 days a week.
Okay.
And then the rest I'm going to be doing in New York. The reason why I'm going to be doing it in New York because I've seen a lot of people make like a shit ton of money, a lot. We're talking about in the hundreds for a deal. So I want to try it out because if they could do it, I could 100% do it. I got 100% time to do it, and I know exactly what I'm doing with the systems and everything along these lines. Cold calling, skip tracing, driving for dollars, everything. So it might not be guaranteed. Might take some time, yes, but I'll kind of see how that goes, which is why I'm doing the 4 calls, 4 days a week call.
Okay.
And after the 2 deals, I'm going to learn first all the deals that I'm doing VAs. Sorry, virtual. I am doing what you call it? What do you call it? I forgot. When
What
you
are you?
split the deal with somebody,
JV.
JV.
Joint venture.
Yes. So I'm doing JVs for all the virtual deals that I'm going to be doing. One, because I know that you explained the process, but I might not have time for the process in order for me to find the seller and then everything along these lines. So just for the first 2 deals, I'm gonna need my handheld. So I'll see how that goes with the JVs. They'll probably teach me almost everything I need to know, although you did through the course. And what else? What else?
Where are you virtually wholesaling?
Tennessee and Arizona. I'm going to look over the list again.
Where in Arizona?
Let me see. I'm definitely gonna have to change the markets, but let's see. Um, about Phoenix. Not a good idea.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
Okay, I'm stupid. All right.
You're not
Gotta
stupid,
yeah.
but like, who told you this? That's a bad idea.
Then I'm gonna definitely go over that list again. Your list
Okay.
again.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have a top 25 markets. I mean, any of them you're do really good in.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
What's the
Yeah.
other
So
market you said?
Tennessee, because I met somebody through Discord. He seems solid. For
You're in
JVs.
Tennessee.
Where exactly?
Yeah. Tennessee's
Uh,
a big state, man.
Knoxville, I
Okay, there's
believe.
Knoxville. I love
Yes.
Chattanooga too. Murfreesboro. I just don't like Nashville, honestly. Sevierville's great. Uh, Memphis is okay. Shelby County. Like, there's so many good ones. I think Knoxville's good. Do those surrounding areas. Even like even Knox County, the counties around, those are good too.
Perfect. Perfect. Sounds good. And then whichever comes first, I want to eventually pay for X leads, the full thing. I'm gonna realistically take 2 weeks to learn everything, if it takes 2 weeks to learn everything. And I want to hire VAs from there. But okay, how does that sound so far? Because I feel like I'm planning too far ahead when I don't even have the first deal yet.
Muhammad, this all works
Yeah.
really well,
Mhm.
except the fact that you have no money. So, like,
Exactly.
where are we getting the money from this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
The
get a check
first.
in the mail from the government? That ain't gonna happen, dude. So,
Right.
you
Mhm.
first and foremost,
Yeah.
let me ask some serious questions. You're a really nice guy, and so I'm gonna be really nice too, right? I don't want to give any attitude, be mean, but here's the thing: like with Tracy, we can do one thing at a time. With you, we got our timeline's a little quicker, okay?
Right. Yeah.
All right. Like
Mhm.
you do not have the time in the world to go learn this. You got to start now. Why are you only
Understood.
cold calling 4 times a week? I thought you told me you're broke.
Yeah. I very broke actually. For
If you're
the.
broke, it should be
Mhm.
7 days a week. I really don't understand this.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
No, like
So
what?
my plan was 4 days a week virtual, 3 days a week in New York because I'm literally doing from the moment I wake up, which is 9. The I know you don't like New York, but yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're New York.
Mostly going to be so I'm doing it with partners. My part is in NASA. So I was going to hit Westbury. Westbury, they got a lot of bad houses. A lot. I seen them because I did driving for dollars. No results yet. Didn't get some calls, but yeah, it's just a numbers game, so I got to do more. And then yeah, and NASA, if NASA doesn't work, in the future, I'm going to be moving to Bronx around Bellem Bay and stuff like that. Houses are kind of cheap, New York prices terms, kind of cheap. But what I'm hearing is 7 days a week is what I'm going to do.
Hold on.
But what about the?
I need to zoom in the camera so you can actually look at me. No, I don't think you're actually looking at me here.
I'm looking at you.
You need to zoom in to look at me here, okay? You need a better view of my face because I don't think you understand this. Okay? Let me straight up with you, Muhammad. You're broke.
Yeah.
You told me you're broke.
Mhm.
So when you are this broke and you have no job, your life is now wholesaling. You have nothing else to do except for finding real estate deals. You do not have any more time for anything else. Okay?
Right.
Do
Yeah.
you understand this?
100%.
So you do in New York, you do whatever you want to try to do. But okay, let me actually who these people who convinced you to wholesale in New York, how much money are they making? Genuinely curious.
Out of they showed me one deal. It was around 163 because they're going after foreclosures, and it's the last stages of foreclosures. So there is literally nothing a homeowner could do except
One
for
deal.
either. Hmm?
You are all in on a guy doing one deal.
Oh, no. Like in general, no, that was just one deal he showed me. But in general, it's about like anywhere between eight.
Who is
I'm
this
gonna ask
guy?
him exactly.
Who is this guy?
He's uh, I'm a real estate agent background, so he was a friend that left real estate and then that wholesaling. Once he proved the concept, he got well, he got me in it.
Do I need to
Started
be an
watching the
owl?
videos.
Who?
Do you want name?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike. His name is Mike, a friend of mine.
Mike, who? I'm like an owl, bro. Mike, who?
Like online presence or
Yeah, who is it?
Oh, online presence.
I
Yeah.
generally want to know who, if someone's making millions of dollars wholesaling in New York City, I'd love to know this person. I generally want to get to know this person.
Sounds good. Then I'll contact them and then I'll get them in a Discord and go from there. But as far as like details, you guys, my friend, I only got the number and then that's about it.
You don't know his last name?
No, honestly, no.
Okay.
Listen, I'm friends with many people. I don't know their last names. No, and I mean like friends for years. I promise you, I don't know their last names. It's
You're
something
friends
that
with
goes
this guy
over
for
my head.
years. You don't know. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I have four
Let
of
me
them
ask
like
you a
that.
genuine question
Yes,
without cheating. What's my last name?
again.
Wow. What a guy. Okay. So back to what I was saying. You are broke. You have no other place to go except for just doing deals. So do you really understand that you tell yourself you need to do 7 days a week? Like when you wake up, it's finding deals. And when you go to bed, it's doing and finding deals. Like you don't have really any other options. So just understand, buckle up, buddy. Like this is your life now. If you are legitimately broke and you need to get out of here, you need to do everything you possibly can to get a real estate deal. So you need to work. I mean, I'll tell you about, you probably should put 80 hours a week into this virtual wholesaling and then whatever into anything else. But you don't have time for video games. You don't have time for Instagram. You don't have time for anything else except for getting a real estate deal. Maybe the Discord, hang out with other people, do JVs, but you need to go all in on this because if you're generally this broke, you need to do everything you possibly can to get a deal.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you really understand this?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I'm putting a lot of time into it, but I'm gonna switch it up because the virtual is probably going to give me a deal. Well, it is going to give me a deal
There we go.
for New York. Okay,
Well, give me
so
your marketing plan. What's your marketing plan?
let's see. Just skip trace, make the
Well,
call.
where? Let's do where
Oh,
first.
Knoxville, Tennessee, because I really like I already
Okay.
found somebody that JV with, so that one's guaranteed for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
And then after I find the properties, I'm just
Well, where are we gonna get the properties?
I'm think most likely what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the X Leads free trial, just
Okay.
skip trace a shit ton, and then after that cold call a lot. Hopefully I'll land on one, two.
How much
maybe
is a
three.
lot? We need numbers, man.
A lot for me right now would be probably one or two. Just starting out, like in the first month and this month, I just want to get the first deal. I'll be very happy about.
How many
Very
calls are
happy
you gonna
about.
make this? How many calls are you gonna make in the next 7 days?
I'm going to keep track. I already created the spreadsheet.
How many?
No idea, but as long as it takes me to get a deal, and
You-
I'm not stopping, even though if I do get a deal, number I do not know. Hours I do know.
You need a goal. What's your goal for the next week for calls? How many calls to make?
Let's say 500 a day. Maybe I'm gonna do more, but let's say 500 a day.
That's great. How many is that a week?
500 times 4, that's gonna be 2K, 2,000. Oh, I'm sorry, I said 4. Stuck on the old schedule. 3,500. 3,500.
There we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. So you can call 3,500 calls. You're going to track it, and we're going to get a deal.
Yeah. No, 100%. It has to happen.
And we're just only going to focus on Knoxville right now. We're not going to get cute with anything else. Just do Knoxville, and then in your free time, you can do whatever. You put your little Yankees hat, Timberlands on, and do whatever you want. I mean, do your thing, whatever makes you feel good. But yeah, go do that. All right.
All right, definitely. All right, appreciate you.
Go find Mike, Mr. Mystery Mike.
Oh, I got you. I got you. No, I'll really connect you. Sounds good. I'll connect you guys, and then I don't know. Maybe I'll make something happen.
There we go. Appreciate it, Mohammed.
Of course. Take care, man.
There we go. He let a guy. He didn't even know the guy's name. He convinced him. I like it. I like it. There we go. Yo, Mike. Are you
hear me?
Mike?
I may be. Now, a quick question for you. Very, very simple question regarding objections. I watched one of your streams last night that you were live cold calling, and towards the end of it, even after you had offered a pretty large EMD, the guy was still like, send me your information, send me your company name, things like that. As a newbie, what would you recommend in that case? Because obviously I don't have a portfolio I could just send over to the guy. I don't have an LLC. I've also watched a couple other videos that said that you don't technically need like your LLC set up or a website set up. But like I said, I just want a little more guidance as far as, how you can build that credibility with the seller.
Yeah, I would use the buyers. I'd use the buyers
Okay.
as credibility because that's the only credibility you got. Like,
Okay.
for example, me and Michael Jordan have won 6 championships combined. Sounds
Okay.
a lot
All
better
right.
than I have won 0.
Right. Okay. Yeah, easy. Like I said,
mean,
very simple.
Right? That's how I do it.
Awesome. Sweet. I appreciate it.
What market do you in?
I'm actually I live in Wyoming, but I'm looking to do virtual. I'm looking at, my brother lives in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So I was looking at that market and some other markets that you had mentioned in this stream. So I'm open to anything, honestly. So if you have any advice on that, if you have any advice on just starting out.
Tennessee's great. Murfreesboro. I like Clarksville, Tennessee. That's a little farther, but I like Clarksville, Tennessee. That's a very secret one between you and me. No one else can hear that, so that's great. Knoxville's awesome. Chattanooga's awesome. I mean, anywhere between Nashville and Knoxville, there's like these decent sized markets are good too. I love the whole state of Tennessee.
All right. What would you think about no, I guess I'll focus on that actually. I'm just gonna focus on that and I'm excited to get started. So
Mike, let me tell you the truth. If you go all in on Tennessee and you don't get a deal, I promise you it's not the market.
Okay.
Boroughs is a little pain in the butt. It is a little overpriced. It's basically it's like suburban Nashville.
Mhm.
But if you try other markets in Tennessee that I say good and you don't do, it's not Tennessee. That's the problem.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't have a problem cold calling. Just a little back reference. I own a roofing company, so I cold call people all the time for roof inspections. So I mean, it's nothing to me, So
Nothing.
I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it, man.
All right.
All righty. Next year we got Stoic USMC.
How you doing, brother?
What's your name, man?
Jordan.
Jordan, nice to meet you, Jordan.
Yeah, likewise. I think I spoke to you for the first time. Might have been maybe a week ago when you did a Discord meeting. But anyways, appreciate you and your dad. What you guys are doing is phenomenal. So I guess so. My question is: so I got my first contract yesterday, signed in Nebraska.
Ooh.
Watch out. Okay.
Let's go. There we go. We're working. That's proof you're working,
for
man.
sure.
You're not slacking. I like
for
this.
sure. Yeah, and it's cold calling. Just
we see the headset.
Yeah, I know, right? Specifically, expires and physicals is what I'm doing personally.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Not my first choice, but you're doing it. So hey, you got a contract.
Fair enough. So I guess with me, so this is confusing. I'm new to the real estate industry. My background's in life insurance. Did that for about 6 years. Anyways, to make a long story short, the whole title situation is a little bit confusing. The seller, I mean, I'll just full disclosure. So I reached out to maybe about 10 different companies. title companies. They weren't. I know we got to be careful what we say here as well, so I'll be mindful of that.
Good.
But I reached out to a handful. Like, yeah, I disclosed I was from Florida. Just wasn't working. I didn't really understand that process. To make a long story short, the seller agreed that, hey, she just felt more comfortable going to her title company. Great. So my question is, if a title company doesn't want to assign, can you still double close? I don't know if that can be answered here. I'm not quite sure, or if that's, I'm not really understanding that process. But.
So I have a very, very, very specific general rule here, man. And I know you're not going to like it, but
no, that's fine.
I say control the title company, control the deal. You have no control of your deal. It's the truth, man. And so a double closing is done exclusively through the control of the title company.
Okay. Now, okay.
You need to get a good. So you can't find a wholesaling friendly title company. I will legit find one for you in 5
seconds. So I will say this on the contract. I did put that it would be at the title company of the buyer's choice with a default of the seller's title company by X date as a disclosure.
All right, I'm gonna find one. It'll take me 5 seconds.
Okay.
Not 5 seconds, actually. Take me a second. All I'm gonna do is look at all the people that send me deals, and I'm not gonna use mine, but I'm gonna use. I'm gonna give you a bunch of one. So we can use. There's one in Nebraska. Hold on, I had one on here to use as an example. Nebraska, hosted by, there we go. Hold on, I almost got this. That's Oregon. Here. Hold on. If I go to, hold on. I'll try to find this. I just got to find it. Where is it? Hold on. Let's see. We have so many. Oh, geez, there's a lot here. I'm trying to find. Yeah. Okay. Let me see who we use. Let me just find out who we use in Nebraska. Hold on. Just gotta get my email. So let's see.
And full disclosure, I was actually, I understand that if somebody JVs to you, I'm not going to get offended, if you're not in, if it's just not going to work. Because even getting through this process alone and the education behind that is just. But that was my plan, was to send it to you as well.
I'm trying to see who we use here. Hold on. I have to get back at you on this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hold on.
That's fine.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's Nebraska title. I think it's Nebraska title. Nebraska and Midwest, I believe. That's what it says here. Nebraska and Midwest. Call those people up.
Okay. I will appreciate that, man.
Or you should just ask in the Discord. Somebody help you out there too.
For sure. Yeah, I'll do that. And then thank you for doing that, taking a few seconds. I know I have some other people that have questions.
I need to go on my email and actually figure it out, but I'm pretty sure those are the thing right now.
But for me to send this contract to you to JV, or if anybody here on the platform is interested in JVing to you, what's the best course of action to take? I heard you say it briefly earlier.
Sellmypaper.com. Here, I'll put it on the
okay.
Sellmypaper.com. And then I just call these. I mean, you cold call, so it's the same as cold calling. See if they take assignments. Simple.
Okay.
Control the
works.
title company, control the deal.
Okay. Sounds good. Noted.
Simple as
Thanks for
that.
your time.
Of course. Well,
Huh?
so why are we calling? First of all, I like what you're doing, but why are we only calling expireds?
We're not. So that's just something that I just started dabbling into like recently. Like, you know, like I have no proof of concept at all on expires.
Okay.
It's just I just worked with I just worked on the phones for a long time, and there was a realtor friend of mine that needed help with expired leads, and I actually helped him get a couple of listings. And then, so I just have some word tracks at work, but there's no specific reason besides that. But it's mainly FISBOs, and then I plan on tapping into the government code violations, like you mentioned in the trainings.
Okay, well, you're going to run out of FISBOs pretty dang quick, man. So
I can see that. I already. Yeah.
So we need to start pulling some government lists and going from there.
No, definitely. I'm dragging.
All right, let's get to work, man.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jordan.
Appreciate it.
Here we go. And then Juan, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh yeah. How are you?
What's going on, man? I'm doing all right, man.
What?
I can never have a bad day. How about yourself?
Me neither.
Hell yeah. Well, shoot, I don't really know if I have a question, but I'm actually on the school right now, and it's funny. I kind of just hopped on the live, and I've been listening to it for the past hour and 2 hours, and I've run into your stuff, and I've been in the community for some time, but I've never really, I guess, applied any of your framework. But I'm in a very similar position to, I guess you would say, Muhammad, where I have a structure, I have a CRM, I have pretty much everything I need except for a deal, obviously, right? And I am fucking broke. Sorry, excuse my language.
Fine. Okay.
I appreciate your candor, your straightforwardness, which I do like that a lot. No sugarcoating anything, but I'm at the point where I have a little bit of money to buy a list, and once this list is bought, right, I'm going to be actively cold calling them. I don't have an issue with cold calling, but the goals that I have for myself, as far as the dials that I need to hit, I haven't hit them when I've set them for myself. But I went to this, I guess you could call it a cold call clinic this past weekend. What? And for some reason, I fucking just, I'm not, and I used to be in sales. I sold cars for the last 3 years, and I basically just did like $350 in like 5 hours, which is pretty ass. But I had a 40% contact rate, and obviously, I mean, no leads came from that, right? Or sorry, there was like 1 or 2 leads that came from it. But I guess my question is, I'm not sure. I need to find the best. I mean, that's all subjective, right? But a place to pull a list of anything really: probate, pre-foreclosure, foreclosure, probate, divorce lists. Because I'm the dials that I've hit. I know I'm starting to get an idea of why I haven't hit those dials, and one could be, of course, the overwhelm, the analysis paralysis. But the other one being is that the goals that I set out for myself were obviously way too big to begin with, if that makes any sense.
Okay. So first and foremost, what's a cold call clinic?
Well, basically, so I guess I don't know the exact word for it, but there's this company where there's this company. I'm in Texas, in the Austin area. In San Antonio, there's a certain company that they have a wholesale operation. And they're like, hey, come on in, guys. We'll show you how to do the ropes. Obviously, it's like, here's person number, there's an address. Here's person number 1. Here's the second owner, if there is one. And then there's 3 possible phone numbers. And it's like, all right, guys, just so you can get out of your shell, right? Go ahead and call these people.
Well, let me ask you, why are they doing that? Just to help people out?
So that's it. That's so I like to think about that as well. For one, it could be like, okay, if a certain person wants to get involved and is not comfortable in making these calls, a little bit of camaraderie or community, because cold calls, I mean, sales and cold calling in general isn't for everyone. No one could sit down for multiple hours a day. Go ahead.
Why are they throwing that cold call clinic? Do they have something to sell?
No, I would imagine that at the end of the day, they would want people to JV with them. It's like, hey, if you find a deal, just cool. So you know, hey, we're here.
I like that.
It makes sense. Yeah.
So if it's from a genuine good place of heart, I'd probably take what they have to say then and good to go. I mean, I love giving people advice around the country, but like if I gave people advice only in my own personal market, that'd be I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Right. But okay. So that's fine. What do you mean by buying a list though?
So I'm looking for, I guess, I mean, a list, right? A list of people, of contacts
Okay.
to call. I have purchased one before,
From where?
and
Wait. What do you mean buying a list though?
a list
Like
of
is it a company
contacts.
that sells a list of contacts?
I've heard of those companies, but no, like just an example, right? PropStream. I've hopped on PropStream and I've played with the filters and I've made a filter to my criteria of the stuff
Can I
that I
ask you a
wanted to
question,
pursue.
Juan?
Yeah, what's up?
Does that service have free skip tracing?
It does not.
Okay, so how much would a list of 10,000 on that platform be? A list of 10,000.
It depends because I don't use that platform. But I mean, that question you're asking me right
Roughly.
now, I could make
Roughly.
shit. I was never good at math, but I'll tell you right now, bro.
I'm just
I'd
curious.
rather not guess. I'd rather get
I'm
precise
curious.
numbers.
Let's
Yeah,
do
me too.
15,000. Let's do 15,000. How much did that
Sweet.
cost?
So 15,000 and quote unquote for premium skip tracing.
Just regular skip. I don't really care.
Yeah. So let's call it 12 cents a skip trace, which is expensive. That's $1,800.
Okay. Is that doable for most people for getting
It
started?
is not.
So I don't think that would probably be a good idea.
Most definitely.
So,
Yeah.
the reason I'm saying is when people say to buy a list, that means you're dropping like $2,000 to get a list of like 10,000, which is insane. So I don't agree with that. I would probably use I'd use X leads. It's 97 for 15,000, but that's just me. But you don't even need to do that, bro. Like honestly, if you're in Austin, if you can reverse drive for dollars, I'd do that. If I could email blast, I'd do that. If I can just cold call government lists, I do that. Then you don't have to do 10,000, right? But it really depends what you want to do. I mean, I love reverse driving for dollars. I'd say driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars. Just sticky notes. You don't even use X leads. Just go look for ugly houses, put sticky notes on the door. Digital bandit signs, I think you should do. I mean, how many you've been following me for a while. How many digital bandit signs have you put up?
I have not done any, and I'm not familiar with digital bandit signs. I guess
Wholesaling.com. You have it pulled up, right?
I do, bro.
Go to Classroom.
All right, but I'm here. I'm looking at it.
Can you scroll down where it says Digital Bandit Sign Academy?
Yes, I do.
You are now familiar with it. I don't want to hear it.
Sweet, bro. All right, cool. No
It's simple.
excuses, huh?
So, one, you have
Yeah,
to.
what's
I'm
up,
not
bro?
even joking. You are forced to post 2 digital bandit signs a day. That is a new rule. You need to post 60 this month. It costs no money at all. You can do it at 9 o'clock at night and just post on Facebook groups and Craigslist. You will get deals consistently if you consistently do that. And I like the cold calling though. I just don't think in 2025 you should be. Juan says it. I don't think you should be paying for skip tracing in 2025. I think $1,800 is a lot of money, man.
Most definitely.
So
quick question.
If you don't have any money though, Juan, like you said, go inside the Discord, find somebody who has the X plan on X leads. They get 60,000 skip traces a month for free. They'll have probably 20,000 left over for their month resets. They could probably give you a free list.
Okay. I'll make a post right now.
There we go.
Real quick, while I have you on here, I mean, can you elaborate a little bit more about what the digital bandit sign, what it's going to be what would be the purpose of this?
Yes. So here's the truth. In the Austin area, there's probably a ton of Facebook groups out there, right? And these Facebook groups have 50, 60, 70, 80,000 people in them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to, I don't know, the Austin, or is it Travis County? Whatever the county is, right?
Whatever the
area is. If you go to the Austin locals Facebook page, it probably has 90,000 people in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. So if you go post in the Austin locals Facebook group right now with 80 to 90,000 people, I buy houses cash, it probably won't get too much traction because of how the Facebook algorithm works. But if you went out here on Facebook on the Austin locals group, 90,000 people, and if you throw a bomb. So there's something that people get really emotional with. Number one, if you post in that Austin Facebooks tonight, where is the best Italian restaurant or where's the best pizza in Austin? You will get 500 likes, you'll get 300 comments, and everybody fighting about who's got the best pizza in Austin. Now, Facebook knows that you are a viral poster. You post content that people like in the Facebook group. So when you post again, it doesn't go to 90,000 people, right? Facebook figures out how much it wants to show you. But now your algorithm's all, oh, well, Juan in this group he posts, people love it. So we're going to go promote the next post he does. Hey, thanks for the suggestion. You might have a piece of pizza next to you. Love pizza, but I also love buying houses for cash. If you're looking to sell your property for cash, I'm looking to buy, me and my partner. And that will get pushed to maybe 5,000 people. They'll see it and you'll get some DMs, you get some answers, you're good to go. And if you do that every single day on Facebook, on all these different ones, like for example, there is like, there's also these different groups. Like there's like the Austin bass fishing group.
Yeah.
No joke. If you go to ChatGPT, create a picture of a bass and just do a picture of a bass or whatever, you can post that to get people's attention. Say, hey, I love fishing, but I also love buying houses cash. And I promise you, people see the bass. They love bass fishing. Oh, bass, huh? Oh, wow, looking to sell. Boom. Then they see it. And then that goes to 3,000 people. And if you do that every single day for a month straight, you will get deals.
That makes a lot of sense, the way you break it down like that, as far as the numbers go. I mean,
you won't get a deal in a day. But if you post it every single day, like there's 90,000 people in that group. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I appreciate that. That was a lot of good.
That makes sense.
Info on that.
And
Hell yeah.
It legit, you have AI write everything. And here's another tip I give to you, right? So you're not doing Austin's not the best for actually. No, this would work good in Austin. So everyone loves UT Austin there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So go to ChatGPT. Actually, we're gonna do this together. Literally, if you post this in a locals group, it'll work good. So I'm gonna go to ChatGPT. Say, hold on.
I'm probably gonna post it right now because I left my sales job to do this full time, and I've been doing it since this past August. And well, shit.
So we're gonna do this together really quick. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to make these posts. Okay, guys. So we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna show you exactly what to post in these groups because you're in Austin, so we're gonna get selfish. Okay, I'm gonna tell ChatGPT. Let me share my screen. You know I work ChatGPT, right?
Oh yeah.
A picture of a Texas Longhorn mascot like UT Texas Austin holding a sign that says Juan buys houses for cash with the phone number of what's the area code?
512.
513?
512.
512. And I'm going to put like a fake number.
Cool.
Cool, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
And let's see what it shows. And then I'm literally just going to create that image. Now, it might take a second, but it's going to process the image in a second. So maybe I won't be able to see it, but like literally just, it's going to take a second. It's going to look awesome. I know ChatGPT is the best image one right now. It's completely for free. So go do that. I promise you, you're going to crush it.
Sweet, bro. I appreciate that. I'm looking at it right now. It's probably going to come up with some crazy shit since you just did it too.
There you go, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate one. Boom. There we go. Awesome. All righty. And then we got Chris. What's going on, man?
Hey, Zach. How you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. So, hey, the reason for hopping on this live is, I just joined the community yesterday and I'm trying to get the government list out, but it's asking for a code. I don't really know, or like a case number, I mean.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't really know how to get around
that. What area?
In Florida. I'm actually from Fort Myers, so I'm just, I'm looking all in the Lee County, Cape Coral area.
Okay, let's do this. So let's do the Lee County. That one should be pretty easy, man. Let's see. So, okay, I see your issue right here. So let's do official records. Okay, it's right here. Okay, do you see where it says private chat?
Yeah.
So legit, click that, go to document, and then do by document, get probates, liens, all that stuff right there. I'm gonna get the link to everyone in here too.
Okay.
But boom, fixed your problem in 5 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you.
Simple, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for the help. Yeah, I can't wait to get started with this. I actually have a few properties that I called, and they're looking for buyers. So yeah, it's first day off strong, and I can't wait.
Let's get to work, man.
Hell yeah. Have a good one.
All right, appreciate it. All righty, here, ready for this? Look at this. Come on, come on. Look at that. How would that not do good on digital bandit sign? Juan buys houses for cash. Like, come on, look at that. Guys, if you post this in Facebook groups, costs nothing. Helps everyone, hurts nobody. Okay, I'm not going to be memeing today. But like, come on, look at that. Guys, I got the whole free course on how to post digital bandit signs in Freeholes. I have so many courses in free. You know what? Don't make me crash out. But guys, the reason I tell everyone go to freeholesing.com, right? I'm gonna put it in here just in case y'all don't forget it. But guys, Juan would crush it in that, right? You can do a Georgia Bulldog, you can do like the Pittsburgh Steelers, whatever it is, right? You just go to freeholesing.com, right? And in there, again, what I literally told Juan to do, and I'm going to show you how to do the same thing. You go to freeholesing.com. Let's make it red so people don't forget it. There we go. You go to freeholesing.com, and here's the free wholesaling course and community, right? So this is pretty fun. But all you got to do here is you go to Classroom, and these are all the courses we have in freeholesing.com. We got a ton. Now, usually it's filtered out so you can learn wholesaling the right way. And did I mention it costs nothing? Did I mention it's free? Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But basically, remember, you start here, right, at, where are we? Welcome, Wholesaling 101, marketing, finding deals, how to figure out how much the deal is worth, how to close sellers, how to get cash buyers, systems, how to use X leads, advanced topics, my 30-day wholesaling challenge. Success stories are one of my favorite ones. Guys, these are literally people who just shared their story. Pretty sick stuff. Pretty fun. The Ginn Games is on here. I have my employee training modules in here. Legit. My entire, like, I don't think I teach this, right? Here is a, like, this is all hidden stuff, right? This is me doing a Zoom teaching acquisitions to people. And this is like old school stuff. I don't even get it. I'm not getting into it, right? But pretty sick stuff. I have, what do we got here? Escape the Matrix recordings are all live events we've done that we have recorded for you. Rick's probate course is in here absolutely for free. PPS 3.0, pretty sick. Because I feel like I'm selling you. This is free. And then right here is how you learn digital bandits. It's called the Digital Bandit Sign Academy. $0 marketing, get deals. Awesome. I have recorded appointments right here. Never foresee trainings. My scripts and downloads and worksheets and all that fun stuff. Literally on here, right? Creative Finance Gold. 5K a day, this had a JV course. And then my new course, the email offer generators right here too. How to use emails to generate offers to get a ton of deals, guys. Freeholesing.com is the free course. It's awesome. Love it. All righty. Mo.
Oh, hey, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. I was trying to, sorry about that. I was at work. I didn't think I was going to get in that quick.
Oh, you're here.
Yeah, appreciate it. So my situation is pretty much, I'm on the back end of my real estate schooling or whatever. Just got a few more tests before I take the state test or whatever. So I was looking around and different areas. I'm sorry, can you say it again?
I'm sorry you have to go through that.
Come on. I knew I wanted to get in real estate, and I thought, I'm just now finding out that you don't need a license.
I don't like realtors, man. That's why
yeah.
Sorry for sorry.
Yeah, but I was just,
I genuinely feel bad for you.
Yeah, but now I was pretty much so I just started looking into what wholesaling was and stuff like that probably about like 3 weeks ago. So I've been watching a bunch of your stuff, bunch of Pace Morgan them stuff like that. I'm in the DFW area or whatever. But my main question was, I work a lot. Like I work like 80 hours a week pretty much, but my day job is Monday through Friday. I'm pretty much just sitting at a desk, pretty much waving trucks in. So I was trying to see like how I could integrate, getting into it and cold calling and stuff like that with that job. I don't have no problem cold calling on the job. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had to or whatever, I was just trying to see exactly, what you would think would be best for me to, hop into that lane.
Where do you live?
I stay in the DF. I stay in Fort Worth, Texas, but it's the DFW area.
Okay, I think Fort Worth's great, man. So, I mean, how many hours a week do you work?
80.
So, I mean, it's gonna be hard to get some extra free time, but any of your free time, I'd start using that to start doing deals. That's all I could tell you, man.
Got you. Okay.
I would legitimately, man, I would be
on the job as I'm just sitting here, on my phone, not doing nothing anyway. So I would, and like I said, until a truck come in and I just check a truck in or whatever. But I was, thinking about just using that for.
Bro, I don't want you. I don't know if you got family, anyone that like you got to take care of. I probably wouldn't risk being fired over this. So any of your free time, I don't want you to get fired, man. Right? I think that's a bad idea. So I would any free time you have, I'd start calling and.
Can you say that one more time? I'm sorry, my audio cut out. Can you say that one more time? You think what's a bad idea?
Any free time you have, if you really want to get started in this business, I'd start using that just trying to find real estate deals.
Okay. Gotcha. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, and like I said, I just tapped into your site or whatever, so I know I got to run through all your courses or whatever. I was just going to try to finish.
What's more valuable than the courses? Is it Mo? Is that your name?
Yeah, Mo.
Nice to meet you, Mo. I would go to ZachDiscord.com. I'd go to freewholesaling.com, right? And ZachDiscord.com is really fun too. But like those are the communities, man. And I would just get comfortable with everyone. There's so many people in Dallas. Like you see Luca right here, man. He's actually in Dallas too. He's a great guy to JV with. He's not going to just be mean to you. And he wants to help you succeed, man. And he's not going to sell you a coaching program. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's another thing I noticed about you, just sidebar, because I seen kind of like a debate you did. I forgot his name, but he the guy that be with Pace Morby, and they was trying to. Y'all had like a debate because he was trying to pretty much, I guess, like sell a course where they was trying to legislate wholesaling or whatever, and he was trying. You know what I'm talking about? That conversation you had.
It's not even worth mentioning, my guy.
Yeah, but I noticed that or whatever. So
we got the largest wholesaling community. Like, I mean. I'm not really going to talk about anything else because, like, where else is there to be?
Yeah, man, I get it, man. I just noticed, because that was one of the things that was one of the things that drew me to you. Like, you wasn't selling, you wasn't trying to sell and get money out of everybody. Like, you offered a lot of free stuff and stuff like that. So that's the only reason I brought that up, because I noticed everybody be trying to sell stuff, and you kind of always, you got a bunch of free education. So that was something I could appreciate for sure.
Dude, it's the only wholesaling course that's free. So I don't know, man. There's no point talking about debates. It's all stupid. I mean, we have the largest wholesaling course, biggest audience in wholesale. I mean,
yeah. And I didn't want to talk about debate. It was just like I was just trying to point the fact that you actually.
I appreciate it, man. But like, sure. I just focus on helping people who want to learn wholesaling, and that's all I do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, well, yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, that was my only question. So you said just pretty much just use all my free time to pretty much just look for wholesale.
I would also go out here, man, and I would probably try to find other people in Dallas who want to work with you and just get a nice community of people in there. I mean, we have a lot of people in the community, right? And just find other people in Dallas doing deals. Like, there's a lot of people in Dallas we have doing deals, including me. Hey, what's going on? What do you do? What do you not do? And just it's a community, man, right? Most people, like Lisa, like people spend $8,000-$10,000 for courses and communities. We have the largest one. It's free, and so.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, makes sense. Yes, sir. All right. Well, I appreciate you. I ain't gonna hold you up. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah.
There we go. Sick. All righty. And then where's Ray? Ray, what's going on?
Not much, man. How about you?
I'm blessed. How can I help you out?
So I'm based out of Chicago, and I started in late February. And essentially, I was using Deal Machine, right? And I was doing driving for dollars there in Chicago, and then I got a couple under contract, but they were just bad numbers on my end because I didn't know how to comp or anything. So then I found your community, and I joined it, and I also joined Max's Discord, and I've been learning a lot. So point of the story is that I moved my market, and I decided to go virtual, and I moved it over to Texas. And I've been pulling lists. So my question is, for code violations, I just pulled a list from Fort Worth, and it pulled, zoning and a bunch of different stuff. So should I just kind of take those out and just focus on residential? as a newbie.
So explain to me what kind of. Okay, wait. What kind of zoning are you talking about?
So on the list from Fort Worth, when I pulled it, it would say, you know, like multifamily zoning, and then there will be like a code violation, and then there will be like residential zoning, but then most of them were land, so I'm just taking those out. And then there's also codes for like garbage and like tall grass, which I know tall grass is one of like the main ones that people go after. So my question is if I should I just cancel out, you know, like the land one, since I don't really have much experience, or should I just try them still?
I mean, you can put the land if it's land in there, as long as you're not doing land only. I mean, I just do everything to find
Yeah,
it. But
right.
you said is this a code violation list you're doing?
Yeah, right. So I just went through that on what you teach, and I just exported it, and it was literally like 350,000 like codes. So I've been going through it so I can upload them correctly.
Right. Just do code violations are active in the past 30 days. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
Don't do
Okay.
the others. That's way too much. Focus on
Right.
that. You'll be good.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And then with X leads, because I started doing the email, what you teach, that email, and I actually did it the other day. But when I exported the list from Deal Machine to a spreadsheet, it didn't put the emails in there. So I literally just joined X leads today. So when I export my list from X leads to my, you know, my Excel, does that pull the email list as well? Does it come with
No,
the
it'll have like 3 or 4 emails in there. So just do email one of the property owner. You'll be good to go.
All right, awesome, man. Yeah, that was literally my whole question, because I've been calling a lot of like tire landlords and the usual, you know, vacant and absentee owners, and I call about like 300 to 400 a day, and I've been getting some conversations, but every single conversation they're like, "Hey, listen, you're like the 10th phone call today," so it just goes nowhere, you know. So now
What list?
So I was just pulling from Deal Machine. So I was pulling like a stack type of thing. So I would do tire landlords, vacant, and equity like 50% or higher.
Why don't you just drive for dollars?
Right. And I was doing driving for dollars in Chicago, but I had, you know, and I was doing it every single day, but then I had to go back to work, and between kids.
You live in Chicago?
Yeah, I live in Chicago.
Okay. Why don't you just pull government lists, man?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You really won't get that problem too much.
That's why I'm pivoting to government lists. This is my first time really messing around with government lists, because I was having a hard time just because I wasn't paying enough attention to it. So now that I'm, you know, getting more familiar with like the county lists and the county websites, I'm going to start pulling lists and just calling them every day, because I think I'll have a better chance with government lists.
My guy.
Yeah, man. So yeah. So, and then, you know, going forward, if I get anything, I know you're very heavy in Texas, right? Like Dallas and like Fort Worth. So I mean,
there's so many people in the community that are in there too. I mean, anyway, like I don't really care. I think if you deal with anyone that's doing a lot of deals there and they're in the community, they'll help you out. They're not going to screw you in a deal.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all the knowledge as well.
Appreciate it, Ray. Keep it up. All righty, and then Gabriel, what's up, man?
Oh my goodness, I can't believe that you're actually coming here. How you doing, Zach?
Why?
I don't know. It's just my first time. Just tapping in. Okay, so just a little bit of backstory. I tried the whole the 30-day challenge a year ago. I was going to school. This past summer, I decided to switch to an online university so I could finish going to school. But in the meantime, I was working for a moving company, which absolutely sucks.
I can only imagine.
I just got married last Saturday.
Congrats, man.
Thank you. And I just have like a bunch of random small questions. It's really hard for me to do new things when I don't know too much, kind of what I'm going into. So I'm on the 7-day trial for X Leads. I'm figuring all that stuff out. I did a filter for just, I forget what the filter I set up, but I got myself the 1,000 leads. And I'm just like, whatever, hitting them, calling them. Yesterday was just a lot of setting up of the phone number and the emails and just trying to figure it out. Today, I made 100 calls. And then I was re-emailing a bunch of city halls and things like that from when I originally was doing it to get all the government lists, like how you were saying in your videos and everything. Yeah. Basically, I'm just on here looking for a vote of confidence because I feel like it's just a really big risk. and I haven't gone back to work yet. We just got off the honeymoon, and I just started hitting this like 10 toes down, and I'm just really nervous about going all in. And I just some advice, I guess.
Okay, what's your market?
Lorain County and Cuyahoga County, which is like Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, I mean,
and
if you want to vote of confidence, go to ZachDiscord.com. Say who here has done a deal in Cleveland. You'll find 10 people say I did, and then wow, if they did it, I can do it. Boom, done.
True, but I went on the Discord yesterday. Like I asked for help, and nobody hit me back. And the
Nobody
same thing on the other website.
Do it again. You got to do it more than what time did you do it at?
It was like probably around 12
midnight.
No, not midnight. Not
midday. Like people are probably wholesaling
1 p.m. in like the afternoon.
Everyone's it's the most active Discord for wholesaling. But do it at like 5 o'clock.
Okay.
There's a gal in her name's La Buena.
Okay.
She does these amount of deals there. She's awesome.
Okay, La Buena. And then
La Buena.
And then 2 actual questions. So let's say I do have to like kind of work again and I do cold call in the evening. Does the time of day really matter that much for cold calling? Like if I got to do it like 5 p.m. and forward, is
2 to 7 p.m. is the best. 5 to 7 p.m. is the best ultimate time for cold calling.
Okay. And then in X Leads, when it has the little AI generated wholesaling number, so it'll say like the AVN, the rent, and then the wholesale. Is that something that like should that be my initial offer? Should I offer underneath that? Like how do I utilize that number?
For Cleveland, it's going to be probably where you should lock it up for. In Cleveland, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was experimenting with that. I was just kind of like low ball. If it was like 45, I'd say like maybe 35 or 40. Yeah.
Why not?
So,
the one thing I will tell you though, man, is you're like, oh, like I don't know why you're so scared, man. Just do it, dude. You still work a job by doing this on the side, but like if you live in Cleveland, I would drive for dollars, reverse drive for dollars, and I would cold call. Just do those 3.
Okay.
So do me a favor, and if you can do it every single weekend, get at least 100 to 200 sticky notes out, and then cold call at least 500 people a week, and that's all you need to do. I think you'll start getting some leads.
Cool.
Gabriel, you're overthinking it, man.
I'm definitely am.
You are. So
I really appreciate
back to me what you got to do.
Bro.
Repeat back what you got to do.
I got to, you said this weekend, 100, 200 sticky notes. You said drive for dollars, reverse drive for dollars, and then just a bunch of cold calling, aim for 500. I was aiming for 1,000. I think you just posted a video like within the past 2 weeks.
I think 1,000 would be awesome, dude. If you can do 1,000, go do it. I want you to put sticky notes on pre-foreclosures if you can too.
Okay, so should I go like look those up on X Leads or on Zillow and then just drive out to them?
I like X Leads, but I would just go to the county clerk of the court and get them fresher.
Okay. Cool.
All right. That's a good idea, Gabriel. Well, congrats on the marriage.
Thanks.
And happy wife, happy life, and making a lot of money will probably make her more happy. So go do it.
True, man. Thank you so much.
All right. Appreciate it, Gabriel. Boom. Done. Simple as that. So a lot of people are like, Zach, what's X Leads? X Leads is my wholesaling software. Again, I got sick of people just overcharging for software. So I made my own and I made it 10 times better. And it's got a CRM, skip tracing, all that stuff. It's just the best wholesaling software out there. xleads.com. It is the largest growing software and it's pretty cool. But more importantly, I have a free wholesaling course. I think maybe you heard it in these 3 hours, but it is free. Wholesaling.com. Again, the word free, the word wholesaling.com, freewholesaling.com. And tomorrow, I'm going to go live at 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to go live in the Discord, guys. In the Discord, you got to be in the Discord, got to be in freewholesaling.com. But in the Discord, I go live at 8 o'clock exclusively in the Discord. Answer questions in there too. But guys, if you like these live streams, like them longer, maybe you want these longer live streams, let me know in the comment section, guys. I personally answer every single comment on the Flip with Rick channel and on the Zach Ginn channel. So if you are in the Flip with Rick channel and you comment in this video, not in the live stream comments, but in the comments after this video is over, I will personally answer it for you. That is my word for you. But you just got to make sure you smash that like button, subscribe. We'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Go to freewholesaling.com. See you soon.